Philadelphia. I'm Bruce Buffer. It's time for the Anthony Gorgano Show.
Live from the Xfinity Studio. Well, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Happy Monday to all across the Delaware Valley. This is the Anthony Gargano Show, presented by the Bet Park Sportsbook online casino app, our friends from Xfinity, and of course, Wawa, as we open up a Monday, D-Day, June 1st. So it's 9 o'clock, and in about 7 hours, we may get the first A.J. Brown news. That's when it can become official as the new league year starts. And we await the fate of A.J. All signs point to New England still. I keep hearing that a number one, a 2028 first-round pick for A.J., that seems to be the consensus of what I'm hearing. So we'll see. I mean, that's what we'll see if it comes down between now and 4 o'clock. There's the word the Eagles and the New England Patriots have agreed to a trade. So that's what we're waiting on. It's amazing, this saga. I can't wait for the saga to be over at this point. I just do the deal. Let's move on. Let's focus elsewhere because it's a lot, right? It's been a long slog to this point of June 1st. And speaking of football, in June 1st, we are now 100 days from the start of the football season. So we begin our countdown, the 100 days of football. Still, other sports are there, and it was a busy weekend. Phillies finished 4-2, so the road trip was good. Now, obviously, you sweep the Padres. It was great. Lose 2 or 3 over the weekend to the Dodgers. And the big story, again, is the lineup. The lineup was handcuffed. Roboleski Friday night, Yamamoto yesterday. And once again, it's the two lefties that had them kind of handcuffed. Roboleski was pitched really well Friday night, man. It's a worry. They're still way vulnerable to left-handed pitching, and you saw it over the 3 games. Now, again, you come back and you take it for what it is. You swept San Diego. You come back from the West Coast 4-2. I think normally teams that travel east, from the east or central to the West Coast, usually lose that series 60% of the time. So, you went 4-2. I'll take it, right? I'll take it and feel good about it. And now you're back home, where you got to start playing better baseball. That's it. You got to start playing better baseball. And it's, the shocking thing, I guess, was Friday night was the home runs from Wheeler. But, the bats were so quiet that kind of overshadowed. Like, that lineup's nasty, and they're going to connect on you. And they hit 4 of them Friday night. Ohtani, Will Smith, right? Like, they just, that's what they do. They hit a long ball. So Freeman started it off. But again, I feel good from that standpoint that it's, you finish the trip 4-2. We know how the season's going to go. The season, it's hard living the day-to-day thing because it's all going to be about what bat they acquire or other arm that they acquire at the deadline that sets you up. Like, they're a playoff team. That I feel confident saying. So then it's, all right, let's see what happens after that. So we'll talk some Phils today, as always. And we got the other 2 sports. The finals for both the NBA and NHL are set. What a game, man. Game 7 was awesome Saturday night. Spurs go into Oklahoma City. SGA was fabulous. Like, SGA was out of his mind. they just couldn't get anybody else to help. Without Jalen Williams, they just didn't have enough. McCain played well, all that, but the Spurs were too much. Wemby and Champagnie. Yeah, oh, man. Another former Sixer, Champagnie. Huh? Could you use a 6'7" wing? Oh, man. Who shot the ball? He was on fire in the third quarter. He won the game for the Spurs. He was unconscious in that third quarter, and that's what propelled them to win the game and win the series. So yet another Sixers cast-off goes and does something. Speaking of the Sixers, they signed Mike Gansey as their GM, so we'll talk to Devon all about that. But it's Spurs and Knicks in the finals. Great finals. I mean, Wemby does the Garden. I mean, I'm all in on it. It's a great finals. Let's go Spurs. I want to see San Antonio win. So that'll be a lot of fun. We'll watch that. And then in hockey, Vegas, Carolina. We knew Carolina was going to win that series. That's the showdown. Vegas, Carolina. It should be two really good finals. And that'll take us up to a little World Cup. And as we buy time for the 100 days of football, VG. Good morning.
What's up, buddy? I got to say, I am so irritated with the Sixers. I didn't watch any basketball.
No?
When that news breaks,
About
I
Gansey
just
Friday?
saw.
I know.
Mike Gansey, I don't know who he is. I do know that he's the GM of a team that quit. I do know he's the GM of a team that traded for Harden. And they know it too. That's why it's a 6 o'clock news dump on a Friday night. Like, is it that nobody wanted it?
They were waiting.
Yeah.
Like, they waited on a Friday night. Pat, what was going on? Oh, we had a baseball game Friday night. And Pat McClune, the great editor, sends the text out. Sixers had the signing. Leave it to the Sixers to promote their new GM
Right.
on a Friday night, like dinner time, when nobody's paying attention to the news cycle.
Yeah. Because they know it's a dud hire. It's a hiring that doesn't get anybody excited.
No.
Nothing. It's
No.
a crap hiring. I'm sorry. Maybe he's great, but after the way we just saw him get smoked, that franchise that he was a GM just got smoked.
And after, Saturday night, when you see Champagnie go off, right? Like, you got Champagnie and McCain, and you're going, what am I looking at? I got
Ridiculous.
two former Sixers playing well in a Game 7 of the Western Conference Finals. They are the joke of all joke franchises.
They are a joke. I'm with you. I'm out right now. I'm so disgruntled with this hire.
They are. They're a horrific franchise. Just a terrible franchise. It's sad, man. It really is sad.
It is sad because we're gonna go back in the day to great times later on, and it's like you remember. It's like
It doesn't matter. I mean, the problem is how many times, and this is where we're at with them.
Yeah.
How many times are you going to go back? It's old going back. It's
Yeah.
I love those days and all, but they're so far gone that I don't even get enjoyment about remembering it.
No, and
Because the whole process was an abject failure. All those guys that went around the league that contributed from, the two playing right now to all those other dudes from the process. Isaiah Joe is another one, right?
right.
Right. It's sad.
And they just like Gansey could be a genius, but read the room. With Harden just got smoked.
I know.
Just got traded for Harden.
And the coach said they won analytically.
Yeah,
and Harden said that he played great defense.
the whole franchise seems a mess over there. And over there, let's grab this dude.
It's
Just read the room,
of all
man.
the things, we're going to Cleveland.
Yes.
If you went to the Spurs, you went to OKC, you went to the Knicks.
Yes.
You go, all right, whatever.
Yeah, you're feeling
But
good.
you go to the Cavaliers.
Right.
They're just terrible.
They just
They're
don't get
a
it. They don't
terrible
get it.
franchise. It sucks.
And I don't know. Myers is smart. You figure he gets it, but I don't know.
Well, I mean, he must like him. I don't
Yeah.
know. He must like him.
And it's not been a good weekend, man. I don't feel good about the Phils. They are exactly who we thought they were going into the season. Their lineup stinks. They got 2 guys, and that's it. Robleski has a whiff rate of 5%. He's in 95% of the pitchers in Major League Baseball have a better whiff rate. He struck out 9 of them. He struck out 9. They had 9 Ks Friday night.
I know.
Like, what are they doing?
Well, he's a young pitcher though. I mean, he's like
still the guy doesn't strike people out.
It goes back to they can't hit lefties.
No.
When you have a lefty dominated lineup, you can't hit lefties. Like
nothing.
Yamamoto did the same thing.
Oh my God, he's
right.
Yes,
but I don't know. I watched the weekend and I go, thank God they won Saturday night. But I watched the weekend and that's kind of what I expected.
Yeah, that's just.
And it's all going to be about the deadline. Like, what are you going to get?
Again, and why would we have any faith? He has struck out every deadline. He's a deadline dud. I mean, he's just horrible.
He's a DD.
He is.
Dombrowski's
He's a deadline dud. He's 3D. But I mean, we're supposed to get happy? We're supposed to get excited about this coming? This
4D. The deadline dud, Dave Dombrowski. Yeah, dude, here's the thing. I don't know. I mean, I got to double down on pitching. You got a whole season to go.
But we had the pitching last year. The bats weren't enough. They're just not enough.
Well, what you could say is that they were in the game. That's the only thing you can say. I don't, dude. I hear you. I just go. I can't look at it now and go. It's over.
I know. I'm not in a good headspace. 4-2 going to the West Coast. You should be feeling good.
Well, I know. I mean, that's kind of what I'm trying to convey to you. Like, I don't know. You got to take. There's a little. This is who they are.
The guy just can't find a bat anywhere.
No.
So
no. No. I mean, you're gonna have to do something drastic. I don't know what you're gonna do. You're gonna have to go get somebody.
Yeah, saying that Chetty had a good deadline. He got Duran. Yeah, but he can't find a bat. It's been 3 years of him trying to find a bat.
I hear you. Man, maybe you just double down with pitching.
You can't. It's not enough. You can't.
I don't know. I
scored any runs.
But in the playoff, it's if you go. I hear you, dude. I'm trying to come up with a scenario, and you're going to be in these games, and you just got to hope that like that last game 4 against the Dodgers was eminently winnable. You just got to hope that it falls your way this time. I mean,
it's insane that you're not confident that this team can consistently put up 3 runs.
No, not against a lefty.
No.
If there are lefties on the mound, you're not giving up. You're not getting 3 runs.
Yeah, it's crazy. 3 runs in this game. I mean, people put up runs. I don't know.
Yankees scored 13 in 1 inning. But again, I mean, this is who they like. This is who they are.
They're like who they are is pretty much the worst offensive team except for home runs. They hit a lot of home runs.
Well, 2 guys, 1 guy really.
Yeah, right.
The other guy's having a really good year.
Yes,
but really, all your home runs come from 2 dudes.
That's it. Yeah.
I mean, that's why the lineup is. And Trey Turner, like if you look at Trey,
he's at 140 for the month.
He's horrendous right now. Oh my God! I mean, he's tough. Now, I was trying to have a positive. Like it's like, all right, like AJ Brown. I'm not going to deal with that all day.
I don't know if it was Friday or Saturday. I think it was Saturday. Garcia is so lost. Garcia swung his second strike in this at bat. It was 4 feet outside and straight in the dirt, and he's swinging at it. It's like the guy, he can't.
He's lost.
He's got to platoon him.
He's lost. Here's the problem. Well, who are you playing?
I don't know. I don't care.
Like you guys know, I don't care. Stinks. Like, who are you playing? You got nobody. You got no outfielders. The kid can't hit.
No. And it's 6 years Dombrowski's been here. The farm system still stinks. Like, what? This organization. Between them and the Sixers right now, I'm super frustrated. I know the Phillies have won, and they're one of the 5 or 6 best teams, but when you see them against the Dodgers and left-handed pitching, they don't give you any hope right now. And I don't know if 1 bat's going to be enough.
Well, I mean, I'll take a 1 decent bat. I'll love it and go, yeah. But, dude, it's rough, man. It really is. It's a rough deal. Like, I look at this thing and I'm going, I don't know how you get at, like, again, it's going to be the same. It's the same story. That we knew that going into it, and they knew it too. That's why they went after Bichette at the very end.
Yeah. They know there's a problem.
Like they knew this run it back thing was a bad idea, but because you have no prospects, and because they're trying to hold on to their prospects and pray their prospects, pan out, because you need that's what kills you.
Yeah, and it kills you. They fail on the Bichette, and they don't pivot to anything else. You can't tell the city, we've got a problem with nothing. We're going to spend $35 million on a dude.
Hit a home run yesterday.
Yeah, and then they don't do anything after that.
I mean, that's what buries you.
And is it Yams? Yeah, Trey Turner, he doesn't want to play outfield. Maybe he helps him out if he plays outfield. I'm tired of Bryce not wanting to bat second. Him batting third. Nobody's even on base. There's a stat, no one's been at bat with 2 outs and nobody on as much as Bryce Harper. He's got to get up in the lineup, but he doesn't want to bat second. I mean,
what does it matter? What does it matter if nobody's on base? So that means nobody's going to be on base as the leadoff guy. It doesn't. Still nobody's on
bat
base
more often.
Dude, I can't. I'm going to pick my battles. Him moving up one spot in the lineup.
He's going to have to go to right field. I mean, you can find a first baseman easier than you can find an outfielder.
Yeah, well, you're going to have to do a bunch of things, man. You're going to have to. Everything's got to be on the table. I don't think he's telling you he's not going to do it. You got give me a guy. Bring in a first baseman that can hit, or bring in an outfielder that can hit. Give me somebody that can hit.
Somebody.
That's your biggest conundrum.
So, yeah.
And you got 2 guys having, Wheeler, I know, got knocked around a little bit, but.
That was wow.
Yeah.
Home run in 3 straight innings.
Yeah, but, you're coming at it with Sanchez and Wheeler and Luzardo, and you go, wow, man, how does this team frustrate you so much? Right?
Because it's the same crap 3 straight years. Good pitching, horrible lineup. That's where we're at. And it's not going to get any better.
Is this a flashback to 2011 when the power started to go? And they were still the best team in baseball back then.
Right.
But you lose to game 5, 1-0.
I can't take that.
Well, at least we got the A.J. Brown closure.
Hey, finally, right?
Right? You got A.J. Brown closure coming up.
This feels like longer than a season of Game of Thrones. We've been waiting for this. My God.
And it's the worst thing about it is it's just goes and goes and goes.
And we still got to wait till 4 o'clock. Because our 2 first is here. It's we have to wait till 4 o'clock now.
And then there's all the reports, right? It's oh, well, is it a 1? Well, it's not a 1 now. It could be a 2.
Yeah.
Is it a 1?
I just saw a report from this morning. They don't, upper management, upper people in the organization don't want to give up a 1. They're reconvening today in New England to discuss it.
I know, man. Just get the done. Give them the 2028, split the difference, get the 28 first, and let's just put that to bed. That's what I think the town needs that.
I do. And then I was thinking, we all just act like it's going to be okay. If the Cowboys lost CeeDee Lamb, we'd be like, oh, man, how are they going to make up for that? You know what I mean?
Right, just had Pickens.
If the Rams lose Puka, you're like, oh, man, JSN leads the Seahawks. I mean, they're losing the number 1 receiver. And we're acting like it's going to be cool.
The only good thing is that I believe in Devontae. I think Devontae Smith can be your 1. I believe that he's a 1 waiting.
All right.
So, I mean, I believe it. Now, I don't know. I mean, the other aspect of this whole thing is he might get his, but who else is going to?
You got a slow kid with good hands from the West Coast.
Then you got your Wickses of the world, Hollywood Brown. Right. I don't know.
And all of us idiots have had these guys on our fantasy teams. They stink. We've all had Wicks. We've all had Hollywood Brown. They've been on the waiver wire. You're like, I need a receiver.
Yeah, but this isn't that, though. Come on. This is
what
that.
It feels like.
But ultimately, it's going to come down to the run game. You're going to have to run the ball. I can't feel negative toward the Eagles. I got to at least go into with some hope that this Mannion offense is going to work.
Yeah, it's got.
Otherwise,
it's got to be Mannion.
The picture that you're painting is the friggin' Walt Whitman Bridge.
Well, the bend from here, right? We can see.
The Ben Franklin Bridge. I mean, Not for
And
nothing.
they're saying you're wearing your black on black South Philly funeral attire for A.J. Brown.
That's true. That is true. I'm going to miss AJ. I really am. I'm a big AJ fan. You know, what a player. He was a great player. That's still
I love A.J. Brown.
Bizarre. Like what's going to end today is one of the more bizarre divorces. Like we've seen great players leave.
Did you see that he deactivated Twitter yesterday?
Yeah.
AJ.
Yeah. I heard about it.
It's like the drama of it all.
I know. Well, you know, but if you think about the great players who have left and you go, all right, go back to it. Think about
Great players in their prime.
that have left.
Who?
You know, think about let's come up with like how it all turned out. I'm not talking about
Lindros was
like
banged up.
the Eagles aren't the Sixers trading Charles Barkley.
Yeah.
Right? Like so
T.O.
that's apples and oranges.
This feels like T.O.
Except T.O. blew it all up.
Yes, but he was a talented, good receiver.
Oh God.
Left hand.
I'll never forget walking into the studio and seeing the phone lines light up. T.O. Pay him. You gotta pay him, Joe Batter. That's what everybody said. Right?
Yeah.
Like, pay the guy.
Right. Everybody said except his quarterback. Right? That's the problem. All he wanted was his quarterback to come out and say, pay him.
It's this weird world where we have to talk about a cycle,
right? That
we just go round, and it comes up the same story.
Yeah, we're in like a weird simulation in Philadelphia.
Right? Like the Eagles, T.O., the Eagles, and A.J. The Phillies from 2011 when the Bats left and they had great pitching.
Yeah.
Right?
And here we are.
And it's the same thing. The Sixers have been the same forever.
50 years.
Right? I don't know. At least we got the Flyers.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Well, happy Monday to us.
Yeah, we got Zebus in the chat. Devontae ain't a number one. He's going to be double teamed and ain't going to do bleep this year.
I think he could be number one. I do. No, again, you know, I think he's got great skills, but is he durable enough?
That's the thing. I mean,
what I like. If you're
he's a $110.
Like if you're going to get that kind of catch volume,
right?
You know,
and we're looking for some over the middle action.
You know, I mean, that's my biggest concern. All right, lots to unpack after that. Oh my God!
Happy Monday. It's beautiful out.
It's gorgeous.
I didn't even want to come out. I sit in the car with the windows open. Nice.
How was Sports Fest?
Amazing. Yes. I saw just Japanese drumming and modern dance group. Fantastic. And then there was this place called the Metal House, H-A-U-S, just heavy metal all day. Fantastic bands. Fantastic.
That's right up your alley. The Metal House.
The Book of Worms.
With the German spelling of it.
Yes.
The Book of Worms.
Yeah, but it was WYRRMS. They were like a sci-fi futuristic death metal band. So they were awesome.
Wow, man. We're talking about we live two distinctly different lives.
I said they were followed up by Bleep Tomb, T-O-M-B. They were.
Oh yeah,
they had the street packed.
That's more. You love a tomb.
Yeah. I was right in with the
come out of a
tomb rock. Yes.
Jules, he comes up.
My people were all there.
You were there. You were doing that, and I was like at a field in the middle of Americana. At a baseball field with a bunch of families. I mean, can I tell you one thing? Our team.
How'd you guys make out?
We got to the semifinals. We lost. Our team has no pitching.
Oh, you're the opposite of the Phils.
Our kids, there's 4 of them with bum elbows.
They're good pitchers, but they're injured?
Yes.
Okay.
There's 4 kids. I see it all over. These tournaments are bad for these kids. Like, you just throw in, and we're very cognizant of pitch counts and responsible with kids' arms. But kids' arms are just they're just falling.
They're not made for that. Yeah.
Do you remember we had the doctor from Rothman
Yeah.
on, and he said, "I see 1 out of every 3 kids has an elbow problem."
That was a staggering number he gave out. I was like, what?
I mean, it's bad. Like I gotta do something about this.
Yeah,
Like,
and it's a trend. It wasn't like that 15 years ago. His office wasn't full of kids.
We need to change how it's all done. You can't play like we lost a close game in the semis. We would have had to play 3 games yesterday after playing Friday and Saturday.
So why is
3 games in one day?
Is the baseball season wraps up pretty soon or no?
End of June.
Right. They don't do July, August.
No.
So could they space these tournaments out a little bit if they went in a little longer?
I don't know how it works.
Like
There's other.
We played all summer.
Yeah, but
baseball.
there's other leagues, and you have little league and they tournaments, and there's all kinds of stuff. There's these windows.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's bad. It's bad. We'll talk to Corey coming up. Speaking of baseball, Corey's first on our guest list. EJ will join us. Devon will join us. It's a Murphy Monday. The brain has the Spurs to win it all, 90-1.
Wow. 90?
Yeah, 90. Woo. Yeah, do the math, man.
He's got to be on both sides, I would guess. You got to hedge it now.
I guess,
Yeah.
Anyway, lots to do. We're just getting started on a Monday. That's right, a Monday. Let's talk about our friends. Let's talk about the BetPark Sportsbook online casino app. Finals week, NBA, NHL. What are we looking at for the NBA? Spurs and Knicks. So that's a great series, man. It really is a great series. All along I was thinking, I don't know. I mean, Knicks are obviously the brain's been on them.
Knicks are getting 5 the first game.
That seems fat.
Spurs are minus 200 to win it all.
That seems fat. Knicks seemed live. Anyway, how about the Canes and Vegas? I got a weird feeling Torts is going to win it.
Canes minus 150 for the first
Look
game.
at that. I think you go
minus
Vegas.
150 for the
I
cup.
think Vegas. Oh, wow.
Can't put your money on Torts.
Anyway, check out the BetPark Sportsbook online casino app. New customers get $500 casino bonus back in the first 24 hours, plus 250 spins on the soccer-themed game Gold Trio Soccer. BetParks.com has all the details. Got to be 21 in PA, New Jersey, Michigan, Maryland. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Now let's talk about Xfinity and the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. What if I can tell you, you can have reliable and intelligent Wi-Fi and keep the same price for 5 whole years. That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Wi-Fi that makes everything in your home work together. It finds and fixes problems before you notice them. Super intelligent Wi-Fi with a 6th sense. Lets you stream the game even when the whole family's online playing video games. All your devices work in perfect harmony for 5 years. Best part, no annual contracts, no hidden fees. Xfinity's best equipment included. Take it from me, a lot changes in 5 years. Championships are won, records are broken. Guess what? Your Wi-Fi should stay reliable. The price should stay put. Lock in your price. Unlock the possibilities with Xfinity. Learn more. Xfinity.com. Xfinity, imagine that. Select plans only. Restrictions apply. Now joining us, our man. How about it? Corey Seidman.
He's the man. This Corey Seidman. Corey Seidman.
Corey Seidman.
What's up, fellas? I heard you talking before. I was actually at Porch Fest as well. I saw VG crowd surfing through Springfield Avenue.
Nice.
Jules was there.
Yeah?
Oh, we could have had a whole family affair.
Look at that. Everybody was at Porch
there.
Fest.
Yeah, it was the perfect weather for Porch Fest.
Oh my God, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
But it's like I heard you guys talking. My weekend was a little bit of a mixture of both because there was the baseball, the Americana, and the Porch Fest element, which brings out certainly every demographic of Philadelphia. You get a whole taste of the city.
All the monsters, all the ghouls come out. when the ghouls come
It's
out.
a nice mixture of ghouls, hippies. Everything was out there.
Yeah.
Get the West Philly hippies there hanging. It's great.
Core. So how do you reconcile the trip? 4-2.
Yeah, it's a great question because it feels like it should feel better than it does, right? Going 4-2 should feel better than it does waking up the next morning and you look and the Phillies still are like third from the bottom in every offensive category. It just kind of reinforced what we know about this team, which is that it's going to be based on pitching and the pitching is going to carry it to where it gets. And I think we're just past the point of deluding ourselves about this offense. It's just, literally one of the worst offenses in baseball. And the question is going to be, can they do enough until the August 3rd trade deadline to remain in this wild card race? And then can they add enough at that deadline to make themselves an actual threat in October against the better teams?
All right, let's unpack the weekend against the Dodgers. So Friday night, we saw Robleski and the lefty bite them again. The young, crafty lefty who struck out 9 against the Phillies.
And he's not a strikeout pitcher.
He doesn't strike anybody out. His whiff rate is horrible. It's pathetic. And he struck out 9 times. They got 9 Ks off them.
I'm pretty sure he entered that game with like 5 strikeouts per 9 innings, something in that range. And that, it's just another really poor effort against a left-handed pitcher. And it just goes back again to the lack of right-handed hitting. I mean, we talked last week, there was a day early, I guess the first day of the road trip last week in San Diego, Turner, Garcia, and Real Muto all had big games and the Phillies won. But then they didn't do anything the rest of the road trip. And so if you're not getting anything out of your righties, you're not going to hit left-handed pitching. And we see this story play out over and over again.
It's unbelievable. Anytime you see a lefty get through start, you go, oh, God, here it goes. And it's the same way every time. It's unbelievable, man. It's something and you go, I don't know how it's going to change.
Well, I mean, look, Kyle Schwarber homered once on the road trip, didn't he? So, I mean, a lot of those problems get masked when you're having these 5 homer weeks out of Schwarber. But Harper didn't have a great week. Schwarber had like an okay week. And when that happens, you need more out of Trey Turner, which we're still looking at like a 220 batting average and a 675 OPS and a lot of weak outs. He did hit a couple balls hard, like pulled a couple balls hard early on the road trip in San Diego for a couple homers, but just no consistency. And Adolis Garcia is playing himself out of a job right now. At least Justin Crawford had a pretty good day on Sunday. He had been slumping, but he hit a ball hard. He also made that fantastic catch up against the wall, shades of Aaron Rowand running straight into the center field wall. So at least a good day for him. But there's just a lot of guys that aren't producing much in this lineup. And I don't think there's any question the Phillies got to add some bats here. I saw that nationally now this is kind of making news too, that the Phillies need right-handed hitting help. It's like, oh, you think? We've been saying that since day one.
Yeah, and listen, I like the kid a lot. It's just, he's not right for this team. That's the problem. Like another light hitting lefty outfielder is not what you need. And he's a good kid and the whole thing, but you can't, I mean, I don't get excited. I look at them and I don't know what you do. I really don't know what you do because you need multiple bats.
And there's too much left-handedness. Like we talked about, I think we talked recently about like Dante Nori, who's another left-handed hitting outfielder coming up that you can just add to this mix of left-handed outfielders who don't really have any power. The context of this roster is not very logical. Once you get past like the top, 7 or 8 guys, like you have 7 or 8 studs on this roster between like Harper, Schwarber, the 3 pitchers at the top, Duran. But then when you get past that, it's a lot of like miscast pieces. And, honestly, like the Phillies they're not brimming with trade candidates to bring in a top guy at the deadline. Like it might be the situation where you trade like a middling prospect for a rental, like a Jorge Soler, some guys that we've brought up lately, just because they give you more than a Garcia. Like I'm just looking at somebody who can come in here and hit a 3-run homer once a week, even if it's only that.
I hate to bring this up, but does Crawford have any value?
That's another guy that they could, I think that Andrew Painter, they've made Andrew Painter untouchable in trade talks in recent years. But if another team is interested enough in him that they would, I don't know, like if that gets you Ketel Marte, I don't know that the Diamondbacks would be interested in doing that. But I'm just saying that now you have to think about anything. You have to think about anything that pushes you forward because this is just becoming a worse and worse offense. And to think that it's going to like miraculously get better with the snap of a finger or by guys suddenly playing better, I think is a little delusional because we saw like Stott ratchet it up, Bohm ratchet it up, Marsh ratchet it up, but now it kind of like has cooled off. And now you're back at this position again.
Take us into the brass and the brass thinking. Like, take us into Dave Dombrowski. Dave Dombrowski sits there and he's got everybody. He's got Preston Mattingly and he's got all his henchmen. And what's going, like, I mean, obviously they see what we see, but what's the directive? Like, what's the modus operandi from Dombrowski?
Well, I think there's no question that they realize this team is seriously flawed and needs to get better. Like, I don't think they're sitting there saying, "Oh, yeah, we have a good club." Like, that's the public face they put on it because, yeah, that line that drives people crazy. I mean, that's like just the public spin that when you're in that press conference setting that you put on it.
Yeah, I'm talking about
think,
when the cameras are off and this is in the office and he's pulling his hair out, going, "All right, like, what are we doing?" Like, obviously he knew it because he tried to make the play for Bichette. So they, I mean, he knew it. He's a smart baseball guy. He may not be a great GM, anymore, but he saw it.
they have to be looking at it like they are right now behind the Dodgers, Brewers, and Braves at the very least, right? You're behind the three best teams in the National League. And the only way to close the gap, they realize that is by adding more punch. And that might come in the form of offense. Maybe it comes in the form of like a reliever and multiple relievers. To me, it has to be offense because that's the only way you're going to give yourself a fighting chance. So I do think that like they're in there looking at trade targets, making calls, trying to see if anything can percolate early, but it's just not easy. I mean, you need to find the suitor, the other partner that's also willing to make that trade right now. So I think they realize that, like, despite all the chips that they've invested in, this is a flawed roster that they need to try to figure out because they know they can't waste another year. This Dave Dombrowski might not have a job 6 months from now with the Phillies if this doesn't, especially if they don't make the playoffs. Like, I don't think there's any question that heads are going to roll if they miss the playoffs, but also if they suffer another quick exit, I mean, then that will not have represented any form of progress.
I mean, I keep saying that they'll make the wild card. They'll get to the wild card. But those teams in the Central, I mean, they just keep kind of winning. Like, Pirates are putting up runs. They put up runs yesterday again.
There's 7 teams ahead of the Phillies in the wild card race right now. Now, the Phillies are only a game and a half out of that third wild card spot, but most of the National League is right there in front of them. And even teams that we've expected to fade, like the Nationals and the Diamondbacks and the Reds. So there's still a ton of work for the Phillies to do. They need to, despite that incredible hot streak they went on where they were like 20-9, they still need to go on another one of those streaks to put themselves in good playoff position. So that just shows you the huge hole that they dug early in the season, that even after, it flipped and they played great for 3 weeks, they still need to continue to play great. And these next 4 teams on their schedule, all of them are in playoff position. And the Phils have not played well against playoff teams to this point. They swept the Padres, but I think that was more so exposing the Padres as like a non-contender, as more of like a pretender that has. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Padres are fugazi. I mean, that kid Ashcraft. I mean, he had 11 strikeouts yesterday for the Pirates against Minnesota.
Yeah, and he's like their 3, right? I guess he's probably their 2 because Bubba Chandler's been a little disappointing. Right. Yeah,
Chandler's pitching a little bit better, but
Corey's got you had you tweeted out yesterday. I think it was they're 8-17 against playoff spot teams of Phillies right now. Brutal.
Yep. And so, I mean, most of that was early, but I don't think you can discount that because it was early because the Phillies are neither as bad as they were early or as good as they were when they responded under Don Mattingly. So you have to take the totality of it. And the totality of it is they're 8-17 against teams currently in playoff position. And, they went 3-0 against the Padres, but that team might not be in playoff position much longer. So they really got to kick it into gear against the better teams because they've shown they can beat up on bad pitching and that they're, the top of their rotation can go 7 scoreless against these like 500 or below teams. But you need to start doing it against the Dodgers and the teams ahead of you in the wild card race. And that Brewers series coming up next week is going to be very telling because that's going to be the next test for the Phillies against an elite team. They didn't fare well against the Braves or Cubs when they were playing their best, nor the Dodgers. And then, Yeah, you have so all four of those teams, even the White Sox, they
White
just
Sox.
No, the
Murakami
White
to an
Sox are
injury.
nasty. No, the White
Yeah.
Sox are pretty nasty, man. Like they're a worry. Like they're coming in, they can swing the bats a little bit. You swept San Diego. Now they come in. I mean, you can sweep them again. At Toronto's tough.
I mean, what do we? They come out.
They can
500
swing the
out of
bats.
this? I mean, that's probably what they come out of it. If they're lucky, they're 500 out. They come out of 6 and
Milwaukee's
6.
nasty.
Yeah.
Yeah, if
If
they
you're
were to go
lucky.
like 7-5, I think like 6-6 or 7-5 is probably the most likely result looking at that.
Yeah.
And that's probably not good enough because that's only going to gain you like maybe a game over the next 2 weeks in the wild card race. The one saving grace with the White Sox is that Murakami just went on the IL over the weekend.
Oh,
so
did he?
At least you don't have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So at least you
see
don't
that.
have to worry about that bat for 3 days.
No, that's a big deal. What happened to him?
He was running out of ball. It was either hamstring or something lower body. Just simple running out of ball and got dinged up.
Yeah, he's I mean, what's he got 20 home runs?
Yes.
I mean, he's
Yeah.
out of the Vargas. That kid Colin Montgomery, I like him, the shortstop. Like,
Yeah,
they
he's
got-
good.
They
It's
got
fun.
pretty good bats. Now the good thing is, again, even if the schedule's tough, you still have. Now I know Wheeler lost Friday night, but Wheeler Sanchez is going to win you a lot of games.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, Wheeler, that was just a weird stumble. 4 homers, accounting for all 4 of the runs that he allowed in this upcoming series against the Padres. You'll have Sanchez and Wheeler in this games 2 and 3, and then Luzardo to kick off the White Sox series. So again, it gives you a chance to take 2 or 3 from the Padres. Struggling bats. The Nola game is the key game in that series. Game 1 on Tuesday. Can Nola pitch well against them for a second consecutive outing? Delivered a quality start his last time out. But yeah, I mean, when you don't win the Wheeler game, it sets you off on a bad tone, the same way that it's great to look at them to begin a series. Because like when you lose the Wheeler game in LA, you're thinking like, oh man, the chances of winning this series are probably pretty slim. The Padres, though, man, like those guys still are not hitting. Fernando Tatis just hit his first homer over the weekend, so hopefully that was not a sign that he's like breaking out of that season-long slump.
I mean, the pitcher's got to be perfect at this point. The offense is so pathetic right now. Like the pitchers you can't even give up 3 runs. They're done.
Well, we were talking about it, Core, like VG and I just don't think there's any tweaking of the line. Like you can rearrange the chairs, the deck chairs, it's come out the same equation. Like I don't think, yeah, you want to put Harper at second. It doesn't matter. Like until you, I love your face. You're right. Like
Yeah.
it's the same group.
Yeah, like what haven't they tried at this point? They've moved Turner from 1 to 2, and they flip-flopped Harper and 2 and 3 with Schwarber, and like Harper doesn't want to bat 1 or 2, so that's not going to happen. And they've tried multiple guys in the cleanup spot between Garcia, Bowman, Marsh. There is no lineup tinkering that's going to change the whole complexion of this thing. It's just too many holes. And now JT Realmuto might be out a little bit because he left Sunday's game after taking a foul ball. It looked pretty painful weekend for JT at Dodger Stadium. So even though he hasn't been a top offensive performer, Rafael Marchand entered yesterday hitting .097. So you don't want to have to replace him with Marchand for a week. So I don't know. Maybe
It's a good
some,
thing they're carrying 3 catchers.
maybe some home cooking will do the
They don't
trick.
have a bat
Maybe
between
some home
all 3
cooking.
of these guys' stats combined. Is a mediocre hitter.
I mean, those are two tough places
It,
to hit in San Diego and LA. I'm just grasping for any optimistic straws here because it just feels like
terrible.
we've been talking about this. Yeah, it does.
It feels terrible coming off a 4-2 road trip to the West Coast. It feels I'm hopeless right now. I don't even know. I don't know how they can change it around.
Do you guys like watching it more when you have an offensive juggernaut team that can't pitch, or vice versa, like what we're watching with the Phillies, where they have all this pitching but can't
This
hit?
is brutal. Give me the offense. I thought I would be a pitching guy. No, I want offense.
See, the problem with that line of thinking is if you have pitching, you're always in it. Like you went 4-2. Like the whole point is
That would feel better if they're a middle of the road offense. When you're the 30th offense,
I know, but if they still went 4-2 in a road trip, that's because they have pitching.
it's just not fun though.
It's not fun, but Corey asked the question.
Yeah, give me the bats.
What would you prefer? Well, to win the pitching.
They won with bats.
What do you mean?
18 years ago.
Well, I mean, they won because Camels also pitched and Lidge was lights out. They had a great bullpen.
Great bullpen, yes.
So, you know.
I mean, the bats.
But the pitching is kind of
God, we would kill for Pat Burrell right now.
Dude,
Kill for that.
Is there
I was thinking, I was just going to say, you remember Adam Dunn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Adam Dunn would be like a $400 million player in this era. Go back and look at Adam Dunn's numbers. Like you think of him hitting like 220, but he actually hit like 260. So it just shows you how
Adam
offense has
Dunn.
changed over.
Oh God. Well, the Reds have all those right-handed hitters. You can't get somebody from the Reds.
That's a good point. Yeah, they're probably not going to trade like a Sal Stewart, but
No.
they could trade. I could see them trading Eugenio Suarez if they fade, because they're going to want to try to win a wild card spot. The Reds. You would need them to start losing some games, and that would be like a probably up against the gun move. There's no outfielder off the top of my head. Like they have that guy Will Benson, but he doesn't really do much.
He's a lefty. Will Benson's a lefty. Their leadoff, Blake. What was it? Blake Dunn leads off. I think he's a right-hander. Yeah.
And then they have like Blade, who's a lefty, and Friedel, who's a lefty. But I mean, like you do need like a Suarez type bopper that you can bring in, a guy like that. I just think that it needs to be a corner outfielder. So
what about Steer?
Angels have a couple. Steer's interesting. I mean, he's been on like almost like a year and a half slump compared to where he was earlier in his career, but maybe that makes him more gettable. And that's a guy that you can at least like think about as being part of your corner outfield moving forward, as opposed to just this half season. So that's interesting. I hadn't thought about him as a name just because he's not like off the page in terms of numbers this year, but hey, you might have to get creative.
Or when, at what point do you go, I got to eat the money and go after Trout?
I'm at that point already, man.
Right?
I just think it's such a complicated trade that if it happens, it's going to go right up against the wire, because they're not going to I would think
the more money you assume, the less prospects you got to give up.
Right. I just think the Angels are probably going to start the conversation wanting both, and then they're going to have to realize that that's, unreasonable to ask for both. And then it's going to be one or the other. I just think that once they come out and like accept that they're going to trade Trout, whether that's this summer or not, they're going to then open that conversation up to a bunch of teams. So I don't think it's going to happen like right away. But honestly, like if you're the Phillies and you can offer them, say, so there'd be $140 million after this year, over 4 years for Trout. If you could offer, say, half of that and a couple of your like number 7 to 10 range prospects, I don't know if you have to do more than that, because the Angels aren't going to be able to accomplish everything they want in that trade.
Who's that? Reyes? Like who are we looking at?
Like like the Arun Escobar tier, somebody like that, and maybe an arm. But like I'm not trading, Andrew Painter and Aiden Miller for Mike Trout and picking up money.
No.
No.
I need to trade those guys for somebody else.
But again, even like looking at that 7 to 10 range for the Phillies right now, like Gabriel Rincones Jr. is their number 6 ranked prospect on MLB.com, left-handed power corner outfielder. But like Gabriel Rincones Jr. is not getting you Mike Trout. Like he's not getting you. He might get you Jorge Soler, but he's not getting you. So
can he get me Rooker?
They don't have. Rooker's another guy I think will be more gettable now because he's hitting 190. He's not doing anything for the A's, and they have this glut of outfielders, and they DH him now that he never even plays the outfield anymore. So I think he could be gettable too. He's owed some money over the next few years, but it's not crazy money. I think it's like an average of $12 million a year. So
I think it's like it goes up. I think they owe him $30 million over the next.
He's such a bad outfielder too.
He's so bad at outfield. Oh, they
but
owe
I mean, as bad as
$40 million after this year, he's owed.
Okay. Over how many years? 3 or 4?
3 years.
So that's a little bit pricey given what he's not done this year. But I mean, even with the poor season he's had, if you stuck him in this lineup, he would be hitting cleanup tomorrow. So it just shows you how badly they need
He's got 8 home runs.
And they're playing a minor league ballpark where the ball flies. I don't know, dude. I don't know.
You know what? I was surprised I read, Corey. I don't know if you put out so Bryce's defensive metrics at first base. I thought he ranks like dead last or pretty close to last defensive metrics at first base.
Yeah, Jamie's been mentioning that all season on our show, and I just like it doesn't. A lot of times that stuff like that measures up to the eye test, but I off the top of my head cannot think of many plays that Harper has botched this season.
Right, it doesn't feel like Reese out there. Reese was throwing the ball all over the place.
It might just be that first base is one of those positions where a lot of the defensive metrics are dictated by those like shots down the line that you dive and you either get to or don't. Like Freddie Freeman and Matt Olson seem to make every play, whether it's to their right or their left. So maybe Harper's grading poorly on that, but it's not like he's missing throws. Like he's not like, missing scoops in the dirt or anything.
No, that's why I listen. That's the least with this team. That's the least of my worries.
I got to make a case to get him back to the outfield.
You're not the only one.
But who?
But that's not happening in the middle of a season, though. I don't think.
Who's the right-handed bat?
I don't know. It's got to be easier to get, though. I'd get a Rooker at first base.
Man, has he ever played first base? I don't think so.
I don't know, dude. I'm desperate for hope.
Oh man, it's bad. That piece of it. I think. Oh man, I don't know. You know what you do because I'm thinking you got to go after Trout, and that. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of.
I think it's knowing the Phillies, just this front office. I think it's more realistic that they're going to like add a Jorge Soler type bat and a late inning reliever at the deadline, and that'll be their deadline. I would hope that it's more. I think
I agree with that. I do.
I
think I agree. I think it's Soler and like listen, if you're able to get Chapman, I mean, you know.
I would love, that would be amazing. I mean, that would
that's
be
why I told VG
move.
you got to double down on pitching.
Every game that you're winning would be over after the seventh inning, except for a few maybe here and there over the course of the second half. But that would be a huge trade too. Chapman's a rental. He pitched yesterday for the first time in 11 days. That's how unused he's been in Boston because they're not winning. So if there's one guy in baseball, if there's one guy in baseball, I'm sure is going to be moved to the deadline. It's Aroldis Chapman. Padres are already sniffing around, so hopefully the Phillies can put together something appealing.
Yeah, watch the Dodgers go get Scooble. It's a wrap.
We'll get Christian Walker.
Yeah.
I mean, that's that's the first baseman people are like
used to
chatter about.
Yeah, Walker.
I could see the Dodgers getting Chapman, by the way, because they don't have back end of the bullpen, which the Phillies kind of showed again over the weekend. So I could see them being the suitor too, which is great.
Oh God.
Oh man, more sunshine today. I can't wait for Murphy later on.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Murph's gonna be in rare form today. What time were we at noon today?
Yeah, Jamie and I will be going at noon today, just talking about kind of the dichotomy of the week that we just watched. There was it feels like it should have been better than it was, but I guess, we kind of know what this team is, and now it's just kind of accepting it and figuring out if there's any hope moving forward with this 26-man group.
Yeah, 4-2, and VG is, as morose as it gets. So
yeah, doesn't feel good right now.
Yeah, he's got to go back in the tomb. Corey, always great, buddy. Corey, Seidman.
Thanks, guys. I'll see you in a little bit.
Bud. There he is. Our man, Corey. All right, coming up, AJ Day. And on top of the whole story, our man, EJ Smith. Next with AJ. What happens today at 4 o'clock? First, a word from our friends.
This summer, declare your independence from hot, miserable sleep with Ashley Stars and Stripes mattress sale. Stay cool all night with cooling mattresses starting at just $6.99. Plus, for a limited time, save up to $1,000 on select mattresses and pay 0% interest for 60 months. That's 5 full years interest-free on better sleep. So stop sweating through summer nights and sleep cooler, longer, and more comfortably. Freedom from hot sleep starts today at Ashley Stars and Stripes mattress sale. Shop for more deals in-store or at ashley.com.
For the past 30 years, Golden Nugget Jewelers has operated out of the very same location in the heart of Philadelphia. Customers from across Pennsylvania, New Jersey, even Baltimore, New York City have come to Golden Nugget Jewelers to find that perfect engagement ring, wedding band, or gift. Their staff is highly trained and dedicated to providing a personalized experience. I've gone there a couple of times. I had to replace a diamond in a ring. I had to get a necklace. They're not pushy. The staff is super informative. It's just a great shopping experience. They have a vast selection of engagement rings and wedding bands, along with high-end watches, fashion jewelry, sparkling diamond necklaces, bracelets, earrings, and everything else you could think of. You receive a final cleaning and written appraisal with every engagement ring purchase. And Golden Nugget Jewelers, they're family-owned. They've been operating since 1987, right there on Chestnut Street at 8th in downtown Philadelphia. You deserve an expert, and you deserve the best price. Golden Nugget Jeweler, where Philly gets engaged. Visit goldennuggetjewelry.com.
This summer, declare your independence from hot, miserable sleep with Ashley Stars and Stripes mattress sale. Stay cool all night with cooling mattresses starting at just $6.99. Plus, for a limited time, save up to $1,000 on select mattresses and pay 0% interest for 60 months. That's 5 full years interest-free on better sleep. So stop sweating through summer nights and sleep cooler, longer, and more comfortably. Freedom from hot sleep starts today at Ashley Stars and Stripes Mattress Sale. Shop for more deals in-store or at ashley.com.
Give me that E, give me a J. Give me an E.J. Give me that E.J. Smith.
That's right, on the Xfinity Mobile calling line, our man E.J. Smith. All right.
What's going on, guys? Happy
Well-
June 1st.
It's here.
Woo-hoo. Dude, you know what's
Much
funny?
awaited.
We used to look forward to June 1st back in the day because it was the addendum free agency. Oh, the June. Who the Eagles get in June 1? You remember that? You don't remember. But like that was a big thing, like back in the day. Now, June 1, the new calendar year begins, and it's the AJ saga is going to come to an end. What are you hearing, DJ?
Yeah, I'd expect this deal to get done today, maybe tomorrow. I think the latest I could see it happening is Wednesday, but I think it's gonna be pretty quick. I think the compensation is like the worst kept secret at this point. It's gonna be a 2028 first round pick from the New England Patriots for A.J. Brown. We could talk about how we feel about that as compensation. I think there's a few factors to keep in mind, but yeah, I think that this is going to be done sooner rather than later. I think we'll finally, be talking about this trade in the past tense, in the short window here.
All right. Before we get to how we feel and kind of looking back at AJ and going forward without AJ, do you think that there is any kind of does AJ go into depth about why he wanted out?
Yeah, I could see once he's in New England, I could see him explaining a little bit more. You got to keep in mind, we haven't heard from him since November. And I think some of that's been by design as to not rock the boat and make it easier for the Eagles to trade him without, feeling like they didn't have a position of leverage there. But yeah, I would like to hear from AJ about why he wanted out. We saw his frustrations last year. We understood that the offense wasn't where he wanted it to be. But, I think with the contrast of what we've seen from the Eagles offense, in obviously limited in a limited scope in OTAs, but still in what we've heard from Sean Mannion, what we've heard from Jalen Hurts, I think it's fair to say that the Eagles offense is going to change pretty significantly. And AJ clearly isn't bought into that vision. So, maybe it's too much. Maybe there's too much water under that bridge. I think that's probably where he'd come down on this. But I want to hear from him eventually on, what exactly it was that he felt like he couldn't, I guess mend fences and come back, reinvigorated. So yeah, it'll be good to hear from him. But I think we all kind of knew this is where this has been headed.
Yeah, I don't think it's you don't think it's a Mannion thing and this offense
No, it's
thing.
a Jalen thing.
Right.
Yeah, it's a Jalen thing. And I think it's twofold. It's obviously like the personal stuff that, is behind the scenes and internally in the locker room. But I think there's also an element of like AJ doesn't believe that Jalen can change enough for this offense to be what he wants. And I don't know if I agree with that bet. I think there's a lot of reason for optimism about what Jalen Hurts is going to look like in 2026. And I'll go one further. I said this on Friday's show. I think that Jalen will be aware of that. And that's another fuel to the fire. As
Agreed.
Yeah, is the fact that AJ wanted out of here. I think there's probably an element to Jalen. Like, I'll show you.
He's
going
to
to
master the Mannion offense out of spite. Take that, AJ. I just became a spite pocket quarterback.
And that's Jalen's like, and I took that personally. I took that personally, and yeah, I mean, no, covering Jalen as long as I've covered him, that wouldn't surprise me at all. Is if that's what's driving him into this next chapter of Eagles football.
Yeah, I think from what I heard that they have stripped everything, and they're going back to basics. I talked to somebody over the weekend, and they brought up even his drops and 3 and 5 step drops. His feet got to get wide. No more skipping steps away from center. Infinite details. That's the mission. It's 2 words, infinite details.
And it feels like AJ's I've seen this before. I've been through this, multiple coordinators. I'm not buying it. I'm out.
Yeah.
I think that's a fair read on where AJ's at, but again, we'll see if he's right. We'll see. I hearing from people as well, Ant, like it is clear, like there are people who've been telling me like this offense couldn't be more different. It's like it is a complete 180 from what they've done in the past, and in a good way. So yeah, there's a lot of optimism. They have to do it. They have to put it together on the field. But if AJ Brown is pessimistic about the Eagles offense, he's one of the few people, I guess, still in that building for the next couple of days that has that feeling.
It was interesting in the first couple of weeks of this thing. They didn't even talk about a play. It was just all about his footwork, and they showed him a lot of footage of his own feet and some of the mistakes he was making. That's great. The fact that he's bought into that is awesome. Every Eagle fan should be thrilled by that because that's what he's got to clean up. He cleans that up, this offense will be great.
Yeah, and I think it says a good amount about Jalen that he is receptive to this. Now, listen, he needs it. He needs to, especially in this offense, he's going to need to improve his footwork. But at this point in his career, with as much as he's accomplished, some guys would be, they would be, they wouldn't be receptive to that. They would be questioning like, I've won a Super Bowl. I've been Super Bowl MVP. I've reached real heights. Like, and now you're trying to get me to go back to the basics. I think it does. It speaks well to Jalen that he's been so receptive to this.
Oh, I think, listen, Rocky had to go back to the basics when he's about to fight T.
Yeah. I think that might be my favorite Rocky movie.
You got 3, number 1?
Crazy thing. Yeah, I really like 3.
I
like the story of
like.
I'd go 3, 1, then 2, and then 4 and 5 probably. I feel less strong about the end of the list.
Yeah.
I really like 3. I like the story of like, you're content, you're getting fat and happy, and someone's got to humble you and get you back working hard. I like that storyline.
It is. It's good. I go 1, 2, 3, but I love all fair. 3 in that order. Goes off the rails at 4.
Yeah.
3
for me. Mr. T's just such a great. I mean, Apollo's a great
opponent,
awesome. But Mr. T's a great villain.
The idea about 2, I think 2's underrated.
Yeah?
Yeah, man. Like, here it is. He went the distance, and then his life changes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Apollo gets tormented by the fact that he didn't knock him out. Just nobody goes the distance with him. And he's like, what are we doing? Let's go. Remember, he's at the top of the stairs and he's reading the letters.
Yeah.
And he throws the letters out over the living room. I mean, Apollo is great. Anyway.
Yeah, I might have to maybe I'll rewatch 2 coming up here. We're
getting
to the point in the off season where I got some time. I got some time to watch them.
You can read, can't you, Chip? Can you read? I smell manly. Remember that? He's doing a deodorant commercial. It makes me smell manly. He couldn't spell. You know how to read, don't you, Rock? The director's yelling at him. That was great, man. It was one of the greatest ever. Anyway, we digress. Back to what we're seeing. So here's the question. It's twofold. First, let's start life without AJ.
Yeah.
Before we get to what AJ was like. Can Devontae Smith be a number 1? Like, I thought so, and then our man in the chat said no, he's not going to be able to hold up without AJ.
I disagree. I think he'll hold up, and I think that there's a lot of belief in that building that you put Devontae into the number 1 featured role, especially in a Sean Mannion offense, and you're talking. I think Devontae had 113 targets last year and 77 catches. I think you're probably looking closer to that 150 target range. And I understand people's concern about, whether or not Devontae can hold up, but I mean, he's been healthy his whole career and he's had a pretty significant workload. I don't think, and being around him, like there are a few people who work on their body as much as Devontae does. I understand the frame is a concern there, but I think that can be overstated, especially in the NFL these days. Like you
Right.
see receivers who are not quite. There's only one Devontae body type wise, but you see smaller receivers have high volume, and like they're fine. So I think that Devontae is going to be the primary beneficiary. And then from there, I know we can talk about Mekhi Lemon and Dontavian Wicks. To me, the person who's going to determine whether the Eagles passing game can compensate for the loss of A.J. Brown is Sean Mannion. I think that's the bet the Eagles are making, is that the change on the offensive coaching staff is going to rise the tide for everything. And at that point, you have Devontae stepping up, and then Mekhi Lemon and Dontavian Wicks are kind of, the Robin to his Batman there. So it's going to look different, both schematically and personnel wise. I think it's hard to imagine that they're not going to be worse at receiver because of how good AJ is. But again, I think that's where Sean Mannion, that's the job he has to figure out, is how to make this passing game work without the easy button of an AJ Brown one-on-one matchup to rely on.
Oh, you're going to have to run the ball.
Yeah, it seems to me like it feels a little crazy. I'm optimistic in Mannion and stuff, but he's a first-time play caller. And I have to go back. I mentioned it earlier. If you go to like teams with two good receivers, Cowboys, Rams, Bengals, if they lose their top guy, we're all outside being like, oh man, how are they going to recover from losing Jamar Chase? Or how are they going to recover from losing CeeDee Lamb? And are we delusional that we're this optimistic?
I think it depends on how you view Devontae, because, if the Bengals lose Jamar Chase, it's like, okay, can their coaching staff feature T. Higgins for a few weeks, right? Can T. Higgins step into that role, and can they figure it out from, the periphery? I think the thing about it is like, I think sometimes if you want to be optimistic, I'm not saying I'm not fully selling you this. I can make the case that, it's less mouths to feed. They can run a normal offense. They can run an offense where it's not so reliant on, are you guys going to win your matchups every single time? And more about like, let's get the ball to Mekhi Lemon in space against his own coverage. It's less about like the talent you have at receiver and more about just can you get guys open and can they create once you get them into space. So I think that's where it kind of comes down to, is Sean Mannion going to be able to do this without AJ Brown, rather than, can Mekhi Lemon and Dontavian Wicks do, I guess, replace AJ Brown in the aggregate?
Yeah. You know what's funny? Because I see it the way you do. I look at it very optimistically. Sometimes my only fear is we have a tendency to look at things through, optimistic eyes. So
Yeah.
I was doing my Fox show on Saturday, and I was talking to Jeff Schwartz, who I do the show with, the former O-lineman for the Giants and the Panthers.
Yeah.
And so we're talking, he goes, I go, why? We're talking football, and I give him the question, like, give me the teams who will regress this year. Give me the teams that you think who will drop. And this motherfather's first team was the Eagles.
Brain's kind of with them as well. I think like it's a big deal losing at A.J. Brown, and you're bringing in a first-time play caller, and you got Stowers. I don't know, who knows who's going to be. There's a lot of question marks. Can the old line
a lot of
hold up?
volatility? Yeah, there's a lot of volatility there. We as optimistic as you might be right now, that you have to acknowledge that. Sean Mannion is a wild card. What Jalen looks like is a wild card in this system. I think we being like around it every single day, following all the beats, you realize like that there's some positive momentum, but there's absolutely a lot of unknowns. I mean, the offensive line, we haven't talked about that, but are Landon Dickerson and Cam Jurgens healthy? If those guys aren't healthy, what does the run game look like? So no, there's a lot of questions. I can understand
How
if
much?
you were picking the other way there.
Let me interject one thing. How much do you think the O-line was like, how much was the ineptitude of the run game a product of the O-line as compared to the just complete ineptitude of the passing game?
Yeah, I think that it's hard to separate them, because I think, the best versions of the Eagles offense have had a dominant run game. I don't know if I would use ineptitude. I think it was health, and if you told me that Landon
Well,
Dickerson
I mean,
looked,
the ineptitude of the pass game.
oh, the pass game. Gotcha. Gotcha. I mean, I don't think that if the pass game was like, average, that their run game would have been top five again. I think it's always going to look this way, especially with the way that the Eagles are built on offense, especially with AJ now gone. They need that run game to really support it. Like as much as we talk about being optimistic about Jalen, he's never been like a throw it 40 or 50 times a game type of guy. And I don't think you really want that, especially again with the way that the offense is built. So I think they need it. I think they need the run game. So if you're telling me like that Landon and Cam aren't healthy, I'm not like super optimistic that Sean Mannion's just going to be able to say, all right, let's build it all out of underneath routes and timing under, and be one of the most like pass heavy neutral down teams in the NFL. I still think this team's going to be run first, and I think they need to be successful in those situations.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think the difference the last 2 years, like the difference 2 years ago, and as far as last year is, they were so good last year or 2 years ago that they could run against a stacked box. Like it didn't matter. Everybody knew they were running. It didn't matter. In fact, sometimes it was bad on a defense to stack the box because it led to those big plays.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we saw it against
but
the Rams.
But that's rare. How many teams do that? Like that's one of the – that season was the anomaly. Usually you need a pass game to open stuff up.
Yeah, no, that was special that year where it's like, actually, if you put 8 or 9 guys in the box, like they'll just block it up perfectly, and then Saquon will be one-on-one with the safety. That is the exception, not the rule. But I think I guess the thing is like the Eagles offense needs the run game to be on schedule. I don't think Jalen, I don't even think it's a Jalen thing. I just don't think their pass game has shown that they are going to be the one that keeps you ahead of the sticks, puts you in favorable downs and distances. So that's the role that I envision the run game will have even next year with Sean Mannion. And if you look at like the versions of the Shanahan McVay offenses that work, not all of them are pass heavy and neutral downs. The Seahawks last year were one of the most run heavy teams on early downs, and it worked for them. They ran the ball on early downs, tried to get into neutral, 2nd and 5, 3rd and short. And then they wanted to take shots and get explosive plays. I think that's probably the ideal version of this Eagles offense. So again, that brings you back to, does the offensive line look like 2024 or do they look like 2025? And I think that's a fair question. I mean, I know that these guys have had a longer offseason, but we saw what they looked like last year. I think that you kind of need to see them make that full recovery before you feel totally confident about it.
Well, the offense too, right? The offense was different, even in the run game, because when Jalen's in shotgun, it changed. Now that he'll be under center, like I think the run game will be better just because there's a degree of play action.
Yeah, and Cam Jurgens is a better fit in this system. Even if they eventually move him to guard, he's a better fit in the system. Now, I think he'll start at center, obviously. I mean, that's not a crazy thing to say, but I think that he will I think he'll be better in this system where he gets out on the move a lot more. And then Landon, we'll see how he looks in it because it is a lot of lateral skill, lateral movement. Landon at his best is fine in that system. He's pretty athletic, but I want to see what it looks like in camp. But I think there's reason to believe that those guys will look okay. But again, I want to see it.
All right, AJ, how will you remember AJ?
It's funny. So I wrote about this. It'll be posted whenever this trade comes through on allphly.com. It's fitting that his legacy in Philadelphia will be complicated or nuanced because that was his whole tenure here, and that I think has been something that he's embraced at times, which I've appreciated. He has like an almost refreshing perspective on being a star receiver to me. I know that Eagles fans are frustrated with the way that things ended, but I think the thing that I'll remember about AJ is that he wanted to win and he personally wanted to dominate. And those two things didn't always align for him. And I think, like, having a lot of conversations with him about him over the years, I do think that he struggled with that. Like, I think some receivers, they want to dominate and they don't care about winning. Some receivers only care about, like Devontae only cares, like he cares about winning more than he cares about dominating. I think AJ really struggled with that. There was a push pull, and it brings out the best in him. I think he became the player he is because of that internal drive to dominate games. But it also came at the detriment of the team at times, and it really underscored his departure in the first place. So I think again, it's a complicated thing. You go back to his speech on the Art Museum steps after the Super Bowl. He said, people said I was a diva. People said all I cared about was stats. But if you're going to get those things wrong, you have to get one thing right. I'm a bleeping champion. Now, if you're listening back to that, it's like, you kind of were at times a diva. Sometimes it seemed like all you cared about was stats. But I do think, when fans look back 5-10 years from now, I think they will remember AJ as probably one of, if not the most dominant receiver in Eagles history. I mean, he's done things that no other Eagles receiver has done. 1,400 receiving yards. Obviously had that crazy stretch a few years ago, over 165 yards in each game. He was a special player for them, achieved something special, but it's going to be complicated, his legacy, because of the way that it ended. And I totally understand that.
Yeah, I'm just looking at his game log.
Yeah.
What's amazing? Even in like an awful year, he still had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 100-yard games, a 95-yard game, and an 80-yard game. His targets, 8, 10, 9, 8, 9, 6, 3, 11, 10, 12, 13, 12. I mean,
he gonna get more than that somewhere else?
Like, that's still a lot of targets. I know you're not getting 15, 16, but I'm seeing double-digit targets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, and 9, 2 other times. It's a lot of double-digit targets, a lot of attempts.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. Like, we talk about Devontae's year last year, and Devontae had a good year last year. His numbers are almost identical to AJ's numbers, and AJ had one of the worst years of his career. I think it shows the ceiling of AJ and what he's capable of doing, and B, I think it shows that like insatiable appetite that he has for impacting winning. And I think that's always the thing I remind people is, like, I don't think for AJ it was like solely about stats. AJ wanted to be the reason that they won the game. AJ watched what Saquon did in 2024. Watched him be the focal point and the driving force for winning. I think AJ wanted to be the driving force for winning for that team last year. You could talk about whether or not he could have done that, but I do think it was a nuanced, complicated thing. And I think he has been more open about that struggle in a way that I appreciate than a lot of receivers, where it felt like he really was trying to get to the bottom of it more than a lot of other guys do.
Yeah, we have Randy's always in the chat, and he's always saying over the last 4 or 5 years, AJ Brown's top 4 or 5 in targets, yards, touchdowns. Like, what more? How much more can he get?
Well, it's kind of like
he said it.
He went over all the targets.
Well, he said it during training camp, which is he wanted to be the best receiver in the NFL. And I think that, again, you can argue whether or not AJ is capable of doing this. AJ believes that if he got the target numbers and the role in an offense that some of these other guys got, that he could make that claim. And I'm not here to tell you whether or not he could, but I think that that's what it came down to, and that's why fans are going to be frustrated. I understand that, because it's like, you had a big role on a team that was successful and you threw it away, and I get that. I think it's it's a bet he's going to make, and I don't know if I agree with that bet.
Yeah, I mean, clearly it's not just the target. Now, there were a couple of games and we've talked about where he didn't get a lot of targets. But I think it goes back to he wants another quarterback. And the idea that it was Drake May, like, I think about it, I go, you really want to go with Drake May? Really? Like, did you watch Super? Like, I know the kid was under duress, but my God, like, Drake May, that's who you're pining for?
Maybe it's Josh McDaniels he's pining for. I don't know.
I think it's Drake May. I think AJ probably wanted to play for the Patriots at some point in his career, but I'm not justifying it. Like, he's leaving a team that would give him a legitimate chance to win a Super Bowl. Obviously, the Patriots were there last year, but I got questions about if they're going to be able to get back there. They got a tough schedule, and yeah, just a lot of weirdness going on over there. But yeah, again, it's a bet he's making. It's not one that I totally understand. That's why I'm looking forward to hearing from him at some point.
Yeah, yeah. Do you buy all that talk about dogging it, not finishing routes and everything? Because there's another side to it that says, well, sometimes the play wasn't supposed to go to him, or the ball was late, and you're naturally not going hard because you knew that the ball wasn't coming, or you let up because the ball was supposed to be out and it wasn't, so you figured it was going somewhere else. Like, do you buy what kind of side do you fall on?
I think there's no arguing that he was disinterested last year and his play was affected by that. I know that there were questions about like if he had lost a step or if he was hurt. I think he was healthy. I think AJ had that tendency even before last season, sometimes where he'd float through games. I think you saw it. And I think that's a big part of this that we don't always talk about is I don't think the Eagles wanted to move on from AJ Brown, but I think the disinterested version of AJ that they got last year, I think that version they were okay moving on from. Not saying they were happy with the way that it unfolded, but I think if you're looking at going into next season with that version of AJ, you can't guarantee you're going to get an invested version of. Yeah, I think at that point you do move on. So yeah, I don't think it's up for debate. I think you could see it in the way that he played. I still think he is one of the best receivers in football. He didn't play that way last year, and I think a big reason why is because of that frustration boiling over to the point where he was just kind of like, what did he say? Simply withdraw. I think that's what he did in most games.
Do you foresee the Eagles to be in on Myles Garrett at all? I hear no. I'm curious what you think.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if the Grenard thing hadn't already happened, and I think the Grenard thing happening shows you that he's probably not moving Myles Garrett. Obviously, Howie always makes the call, but it would surprise me. It would surprise me at this point.
Yeah, I don't see it. I mean, they were talking about Jalen Carter for Myles Garrett and all this other stuff. I don't see it. I don't think that they. I think they're out on that sweepstakes.
Yeah. I mean, that's a lot of money to put in an edge rusher, even if you traded Carter. I mean, if you're paying Garrett, you're not signing Ojimo. Like, I don't think you can afford to keep Ojimo, and then all of a sudden, you're thin at defensive tackle. So, no, it's harder to do it at this point in the offseason. I'm sure the Eagles, again, their name will always be attached to stuff like that, but yeah, it's hard to figure out how they'd make that one work.
Yeah, I don't see it. So, what's the schedule? You got OTAs. Like what's like, let's map out June. It's June 1st.
Yeah.
Well, by the way, EJ, we're 100 days away from the start of the season, of the NFL season.
Yeah. Love that.
Let's go!
Training camp is my favorite time of the year. So get me to training camp. I'll be happy. They got practice Tuesday, Thursday, Friday this week. We'll have access tomorrow. So we'll hear from Nick.
Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, BG.
Tuesday, Thursday, Friday.
I do wonder if the AJ trade doesn't happen in like the next 12 hours, do they wait until Wednesday just so Nick isn't the first one to talk after the trade?
That's a good idea.
It's just speculation. I just wonder if Howie would want to be the one to address it first. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. And then, they got mandatory mini camp on June 9th and 10th, which will be good. It'll be a good couple days. And then, after that, it's like floodgates open, off season. And you guys will be hanging out with us on the PHLY Eagles show, talking about a bunch of Eagles topics.
Yeah, because, right after that June 9th, 10th, then is the long wait. Everybody goes on their last vacation, right? And then we're going until July when camp starts.
Now you got me looking towards July now? I hate looking forward. You got me looking forward to June 1st.
Well, but here's the problem.
Now we're looking forward to what?
Here's
July
the problem.
What?
I don't see, make yourself the lord of the landscape, all right? So, EJ, the Phillies, is anything drastically changing, dramatic change with the Phillies? Team with pitching that can't hit, right? vulnerable to lefties. The Sixers, it's not even after the watching Champagne and
Yeah.
they're the only franchise that wants to announce their new GM Friday at 6:00.
Classic Friday news dump. Yep.
I mean, what?
That's bad news dump, EJ. Like they're what are they signaling to us?
Right, that's their hire. Like
Yeah.
that's a chance for them to be in the news.
Yeah, they
Yep.
don't know.
And it's Friday at 6:00. It's like, oh, the Sixers hired a GM. All right.
Everybody's at the beach. Nobody cares. The weather's beautiful.
I mean, I never see anything like that. So then, obviously you get Flyers, but here we are. Is there any way but to look forward to Eagles?
Yeah, I mean, in my world, I am looking forward to training camp. Training
But
camp
even if
is
you
going to
took
be
yourself
so
out of
fun.
being the lead Eagles beat writer here, right? Like,
Oh yeah.
like just as a
World
sports
Cup,
guy.
World Cup, I'm looking forward to. World Cup is going to be fun, but
Yeah.
Philadelphia sports, yeah, you're excited for training camp. You want to hear about what it looks like with Sean Mannion, what Jalen Hurts under center, roll out, finding Devontae Smith over the middle of the field. That's what you have to hang on to. Absolutely.
That's it, VG.
That's it, I guess.
You got to look ahead. Fast forward through summer.
I don't. Summer's not even here, man. We just got to June. Relax. Back it up. Slow it down.
Press that button. Zzz, fast forward. FF. Zzz, zzz.
Yep. Get me to training camp.
I like it.
Best time of the year. Sitting outside. I always say, sit outside watching football practice at 32 years old. I'm fortunate, man. That's the time I'm most grateful to be in my job is when I'm sitting there watching practice. It's like, not everybody gets to do that.
I love them. I
might be looking forward to if I was sitting out a nice day watching some practice. Yeah.
It is 95 degrees.
Yeah. So you can
For a guy like you, for us guys, we don't
find a
care.
little shade
Oh,
somewhere.
for a guy like you that melts, that comes out of a tomb, EJ, we love you. Looking forward to it. So today, what's on the show today?
We're
AJ?
live at Penn Oaks Golf Club for Brian Dawkins' golf event over there. So, should be a good time. Lots of good interviews. You'll hear from Brian Dawkins. Lots of Eagles greats. Maybe some of the guys who made the top 26 list. So, yeah, it'll be a fun time.
Did you hear about our list?
I did. I didn't hear who's on the list yet. I'm gonna have to talk to Bo about that, but I heard it was a good time.
Yeah. I'm dying to hear what you think, so it'll be fun. All right, brother, you're the man. Thanks, EJ.
All right, guys. Yep. Talk to you soon.
EJ Smith.
Chat's got a lot of chatter about some hockey news.
Oh, yeah?
Rumors.
What we got?
McDavid with Montreal on a short list wants to be reunited with Saint Louis or play for Martin.
Yeah. Wow. Imagine Connor going to Les Habitants.
He's grew up around Toronto, didn't he? I thought he's an Ontario guy.
I
He can't go to the enemy.
I don't know, dude. I don't know. I don't want him in this conference.
No.
This conference.
Well, you get a chance to see him more often.
Yeah, I get it, but still. All right. Let's take a quick TO. Come back. Talk some hoop.
Finals.
Champagne.
Anyone but the Knicks. We can't have the Knicks win.
Well, I mean, Devon.
No, he's got a vested interest, but the most of Philadelphia can't handle the Knicks winning.
Well, is it true? And this is what we'll talk about. The Knicks equal the Knicks fans equal the Eagles fans.
Yeah, I can see a little bit of that. Yeah,
A little bit. There's similarities are there. All right, let's take a quick TO. Talk about our friends. Let's talk about Parks Casino, Street Road, Bend, Salem, VG, all the great acts at Parks Casino. You gotta love it, man. Why don't you make it a night out at Parks Casino where you can stay over at the new Parks View Hotel? You get all kinds of fun acts. You can hang out. Nice dinner at the Parks Grill Steakhouse, Chickies and Pete's, the Bamboo Noodle House. It's all right there. Make the night complete again. Here you go. Comedian Chris D'Elia on November 7th. comedian Michelle Wolf on December 8th. Roger Daltrey on September 25th. Comedian Tommy Chong from Cheech and Chong, September 21st. America.
Horse with no name.
Horse with no name, October 31st. Kiss frontman Gene Simmons Band, July 24th. Comedian Ben Bankus, August 22nd. And The Magician, Michael Carbonaro, The Carbonaro Effect, on September 19th. ParksCasino.com to buy tickets for all the shows. Parks Casino, Pennsylvania's #1 casino, Street Road, exit off of 95 and PA Turnpike in Ben Salem. Going to be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. What about, we're talking about football. How about taking a trip with the Birds? Philly sports trips. How about going to London? Week 5. Philly sports trips put together an incredible trip that you should be a part of. Flights, hotels, game tickets, exclusive fan events. Everything is taken care of it. Everything's taken care of it for you. All right? You'll experience the weekend with Eagles' Darius Slay, right? Special appearance, exclusive events you're not going to get anywhere else. Enjoy extra experiences all weekend long, including a boat party on the Thames.
Love it.
Double-decker bus tour. You'll get to hang in one of the world's most fascinating cities, London.
Double decker.
All right? It's more than just an away game. It's the ultimate fan experience. Lock in your spot. They're going fast. PhillySportsTrips.com. That's PhillySportsTrips.com. Go Birds. Now, Devon.
Talk some hoops.
Let's do it. Devon Givens.
NBA.
Devon Givens.
NBA.
Devon Givens.
What's up, baby boy?
What's happening, man? Good morning. How are you?
Well,
Eh.
he's miserable. I get it. But man, Game 7 was awesome. Like this
Yeah, that was
could
a
be a
great game.
great finals.
That was a great series between the Spurs and the Thunder. Great Game 7, as you said. Thunder come back, Spurs taking the punch and responding. I heard you before the break after EJ mentioning Julian Champagnie. He had some big shots from three-point range to kind of pull back away from the Thunder and to take down the champ. So now, yeah, I think this was going to be a really, really good finals between these two teams. They met in the NBA Cup in December. The Knicks took the cup. You saw Dylan Harper afterwards telling the guys, like, we got to get our get back from the NBA Cup. I'd imagine a lot of Knicks people would give up a cup in order to win the NBA championship. So,
A cup for a chip? Yeah.
Yes. So this is going to be a fun series.
Yeah, this is going to be a great series. How about, listen, Wembanyama gets, obviously, he's bigger than life.
Mm-hmm.
I loved the way he responded after that game. He was emotional. And as much as I'm tired of, like, it's Wemby's world, but watching him showing that emotion and tears, hugging guys, fired up, was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. What a player. And I love the fact that he showed that kind of emotion after winning that game.
So one of my group texts, one of my close people had messaged, my close friends since I was, younger, and they act as saying that basically he was acting like they won the championship, and I'm like, well, hold on. We talk a lot about athletes that don't show enough emotion, that don't do things like that. And here's a guy who showed the emotion, who cared, where again, many people talk about athletes don't care anymore. And he clearly does, from the rivalry with Chet Holmgren for that series to even I remember one game during the regular season where it was a really, really competitive game. If not overtime, it was an end of regulation game, and it was a really, really tight game at the end, and they won, and he was emotional after that one too. And so for him, who is a player that we talk about, and there are also former players that are active on social media who also go about how he doesn't have a go-to move yet. That's going to be his downfall and all. Well, even with that he led that team with a lot of other talent to the NBA Finals in his third year, and they just took down the defending champs, who many thought were going to be back in repeat. So for him to show that emotion, to show that he cares the way that he does, taking the journey that he did over the summer to go visit the monks and try to figure out, how to prepare for a game in different ways because it's so challenging and all. I loved it. I love the fact that he showed the emotion that he did.
Yeah, by the way, it's a 7-game series against mighty OKC. So,
Right. Yeah.
that's a highly emotionally charged game and series. And to win on the road, I would be freaking out too.
It was a physical series. It was an emotional series. He took a lot of hits in that series. He deserved to let whatever emotions out that he wanted to let out. So I agree with you on this one. I had no problem with it, and it was good to see. Yeah, it's good to see.
It was awesome. And SGA played his heart out, man. I feel bad for him in the sense he played a great game. You were talking about leaving it on the floor. My God, he was money.
Game 7, he was
Unlike
great.
Chet.
That was funny.
Oh man.
Yeah, that was
Woo.
that was bad.
Woo.
That was really
Talk about
bad.
the ghost.
Yeah.
Look like Tobias Harris
Man.
out there.
Look, man, when Jalen Williams is not there, you are clearly number 2. And, you have your number 2 moments, number 1 moments during the regular season. Certainly your third, you're an all-star, a well-deserved all-NBA selection, in my opinion. But everything is out the window when you're in the postseason. And because you did get those accolades, you have to perform on that stage. We saw it a season ago. He did not. And look, I know he's going against Wembanyama, but it's not as like he hasn't ever gone against Wembanyama and had success against Wembanyama. You can't have what do you have? 2, 3 shots?
Yeah.
You can't have that, man. Find ways to maybe get him off. They also set some screens to get him away from him a little bit to get some looks. You can't have two points in an elimination game at home where you've been in this spot before. So that was really disappointing. Somebody who I take up for Chet Holmgren a lot. Because people, there are plenty of people who just don't like him. I like his game. I think he's a good player. I think he's a really good player. And he came up really small on that one going against Wembanyama, who showed out.
Yeah, that was weak.
You take on that contract? You trade Embiid for Chet?
I think
he
it just
signed
kicks
that
in
deal.
The next season is when it kicks in.
Yeah, it kicks
5
in
years,
for Chet for 4 or 5 years.
Right.
No, I don't want that. I don't want.
Yeah.
I don't want wet Chet. I'm out, man.
Wet Chet is a good one.
I'm out on my man. Are you kidding me? Before we get to the series itself, Knicks and Spurs, it's game 7. And I'm watching Champagnie on one side just go banana. He won, as great as Wembanyama was and the whole thing, Champagnie won the game for him. Like that third quarter.
Big shots.
3 after 3 after 3, he won the game. And I'm watching in a decisive game 7 of the mighty Western Conference. I'm seeing Champagnie and McCain, who played well, both show out.
He did.
It's impossible to stomach as a Sixers fan.
They were both ready for the moment. They had big shots when Oklahoma City was down big. McCain, he showed a lot, man, from like game 4, game 5, all the way up to game 7, where even if he had a down game, he was not afraid of them. He was taking those shots, man, and it was cool to see for him because we know what he went through to get back with the meniscus and all that he had to deal with going down to the G League and stuff with the Sixers to the Bluecoats and all of that stuff. So for him personally, just looking at him, and we all know him a little bit, it was cool to see that for him. But on the Sixers side, yes, we just kept pounding it home the entire playoffs, from the bench specifically, from Paul Reed to Isaiah Joe to Jarrett McCain, Julian Champagnie with the 2022-23, was it 22-23 for Mac McClung, where they made that decision. And that one, I remember, and when we were on the radio at that time, and I know you would listen a lot at night, and when he was battling for that from training camp to preseason, we all have our favorites going into, like, all right, I like this guy. And You knew him from St. John's. You knew the type of player that he was. He could rebound a little bit, and he could certainly shoot a little bit. He has to improve more once he gets to the next level. But it showed some things, and you were like, "Oh, okay, this guy might." When we talk about they need wings, they need extra bodies that can just soak up some minutes, and
Right?
maybe get some
Like,
shots and
you
be a
need
little
wings to
physical.
develop.
Yeah, and look, I didn't know he was going to be this.
Well,
While
no.
I liked him, and I wanted them to
Right.
keep him on the
You did
roster,
like
and
them.
well, first of
You
all,
were
make the
upset.
roster.
You were upset by it. I remember that.
And when they did this, it was like, oh man, I don't know about this. At that time, it was 22. So, yeah, man, for him, great for him, great for the kid. Gets to go home, New York, and play in the NBA Finals where he played all of his home games from St. John's and all. But for the Sixers part of it, look, and we don't know that he was going to be here for the long term. But when you had him, you had him. These are the ones that we talk about. You making the mistakes on the fringes of not building out your roster the right way. They're in your building. You see what's going on with these players. And did they expect him to develop into this? Clearly not. However, you can't make that mistake. You can't make
But
another
here's the
mistake
thing.
that's just on
Obviously,
top of
San
another
Antonio
mistake.
did.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah, they were at a different place because they weren't
like
good.
it's one thing
But
for us to watch the kid from afar. You got the
Mhm.
kid in your building. You see the
Right.
kid every day. Like, what?
Yeah, it's
you
about
got
projecting it out.
17
Yeah.
front office guys. What are you looking at?
Right. Yeah.
Like,
You
when you're at
project out.
practice and you see the kid, you go, well, we need wings to develop. Cheap wings that could develop. And they don't see it, but the Spurs do. I mean, and the kid's like, hey, man, it's my journey. Shout out Philly. And there was McCain. Shout out Philly.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
galling. It's like,
Yeah.
my God, Devon.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it was, and you would get, because the playoffs are so long. First of all, McCain does what he does during the regular season. The Champagne stuff didn't really start to click until the postseason. But the McCain thing that we knew from the time the trade happened, him playing well in the second half of the year for OKC going into the playoffs, and then it started to really ramp up for both of them. So after a while, Sixer fans are like, all right, enough is enough. We don't need to keep talking about this. But they kept doing it. They kept hitting shots. They kept making big shots on those stages, and especially for McCain, that's where all the frustration came in. So for anybody on the outside that just doesn't understand, this is why, because the Sixers did not have a bench in this postseason. They have not had benches in the last couple of postseasons, and that's where it's clipped them. Where they have traded for Buddy Hield, they've had to add others. Campaign coming in, who they both had some moments, but not enough to hold down the bench overall. Paul Reed then becomes the best center on Detroit while they're in their second round matchup as well against Cleveland. And this is where the Sixers are, man.
Dude,
And now we
it's unbelievable, Devon. Like, think about this. Jalen Williams gets hurt, and he's their second option to SGA.
He's starting. Yeah. He's starting. He
Second
jumps over
option.
Isaiah Joe.
They
He
couldn't
jumps
get
over
him on
Isaiah
the court.
Joe
Like, how do I
and
look
Aaron
at Nick
Wiggins.
Nurse with a straight face next year, knowing he said, well, I can't get him minutes? When
Yeah,
he's playing Game 7 of at Western Conference Finals, how do I reconcile that in my brain? Like, my first
know.
question to Nick Nurse is, dude, you got to help me, man. How do I believe you in anything you say when you say you can't find minutes for the kid?
Yeah. Yeah. Nick Nurse is going to have to answer that one because you can't. Yeah.
Every game of every series is more frustrating for Sixers fans. Like, if the Knicks win, it's going to be a reminder of your cousin and the mistake. If the Spurs
Landry
win,
Shamet.
it's going to be because Champagne's going to be playing well. Like, either way, it's just so frustrating as a Sixers fan to watch the NBA right now because their mistakes are doing well.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
The Savior is here from Cleveland.
What's his name?
Mike Gansey.
I missed the news update.
You know what's
Oh,
crazy?
you're a big college basketball guy, though. You don't remember Mike Gansey?
Come on, man.
No, he was. He was a big-time
He
college
was on the
basketball guy.
Pittsnoggle team. Yeah, he was on the Pittsnoggle team. Yeah,
But
West Virginia.
But let me ask you a question. You put that out there on Friday at 6 o'clock?
That was also puzzling. We said that when we started the emergency podcast Friday night, and Derek's driving home, Kyle was off for the week. He had vacation. Kyle's off. Bree is, cutting up some of the stuff that we had already done because we had the councilman on to put things out there. And we're in the middle. I'm going to pick up my daughter, right? So I had a little commute that I had to do. And I'm like, guys, Bree's like, are you either of you anywhere near home? Nah. So the 5:15 dump, and it shouldn't have been a dump. This is a big hire.
Well, that's why I don't understand it. What
I
are
didn't
you
understand
trying
the
to
timing
accomplish?
of it. Yeah, I didn't understand the timing of it. We figured it might be like the first week of June. All right, that'll be when the announcement would happen. But it was puzzling, yes, that they would do that on a Friday, where yeah, we finished our show. Everybody's ready for the weekend. It's a beautiful weekend. Friday, 5:15 or whatever time it dropped. That was an odd one. Yeah.
Do you think it's because it's not an exciting pick? Like there's the gut reaction.
Maybe.
We just saw the Cavaliers get smoked, and we're bringing someone from that organization over here.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that could be it. That could be it. But it's still a big hire. So, you don't hide it. We're still going to talk about it on Monday, right? So we're still going to be discussed. So yeah, I thought the timing, to your point, and VG, you might be right, but I thought the timing was puzzling.
Yeah, I think that they were probably like, I don't need to hear the jokes about Cleveland, right? Like, and listen,
But they're not going to go away in 48 hours. They're still going to be there.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
when we make the jokes, yeah, but I don't know. Like, it's his, like, again, the two could be a really good basketball hire, and Bob Myers could have struck gold with it. I mean, we'll see. But you can't bury it. Like, you got to at least own it. Like,
definitely
own
have
your
to
guy.
own it. Own the guy, and to your point, and we said this a bunch, we don't know what all he did or didn't do behind Kobe Altman. The ultimate decision maker is the president of basketball operations. Now that is his title. So as much as Bob Myers is going to be involved in the final decision making for this team, it's really going to fall on Mike Gansey now. In Cleveland, we don't know. But what we do know is 15 years in that organization, he was promoted multiple times. 2017, the assistant general manager. 2022, he was named general manager of the Cleveland Cavaliers. And whatever you want to say about the jokes about James Harden making the trade and all, guess what just happened? They got further than the Sixers again before the Sixers.
Yes.
So they have good players on their roster that we've talked about.
Yeah.
Why don't the Sixers have that? We, again, don't know his decision-making, but word is that he is very big on the scouting and some of those, like Jalen Tyson, where he had that big game during the regular season against the Sixers, where we're like, a lot of Sixer fans who don't know Jalen Tyson are like, who the hell is Jalen Tyson dropping 39 on the Sixers in a regular season game, winning this game, and it's not Mitchell or Mobley or Garland, it's him. And we like Sam Merrill, the shooter. We've talked about Dean Wade on that roster. People were ticked off that the Sixers did not get in on the Sacramento trade, at least bringing in Keon Ellis, minus the Dennis Schroeder part of it. So for all the jokes, and we'll talk about this today at 3 p.m., but for all the jokes, they, again, got further than the Sixers, and he was a part of that. Yes, they got swept, but he was there. And, we don't know what he did, what he didn't do, but he was a part of a team that was an Eastern Conference Finals representative. So that will be my say.
That's why, to me, have some pride.
Right.
And don't just dump the news on Friday when everybody's going down the shore and starting their weekend.
Right.
It's unbelievable. I'm like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah. Well, it's Monday now, and everybody can get it. So have at it.
But how involved do you think Myers will be? Only on like bigger moves and acquisitions, or do you think he's going to be kind of clued in on it, kind of involved on a day-to-day thing?
I mean, I even though he said what he said, I want to believe he'll be involved in the day-to-day, but he's still president when it comes to the whole HBSEE, right? Where it's Washington, Philadelphia, New Jersey, I'd imagine the soccer team as well. So with all of that, yeah, can he compartmentalize? And of course, he's delegating now where this guy is going to be the president of basketball operations. This is call. But before he makes any decision, he still has to go to the top. So my wonder of this one is, because of him going to the top, yeah, Josh Harris has to sign off on stuff, but is it really just Myers gives the okay, Harris and Blitzer are like, okay, cool, then it's good
Right.
to
Yeah.
go. So with the draft, of course, with it being so time consuming now, we're less than 25 days now before the NBA draft, which is on the 23rd, 3 weeks from tomorrow, that he will be heavily involved in that because Gansey and the Cleveland Cavaliers before he got here, they had a late first round pick, so they did a lot of their scouting and all. So he'll have some notes from what they did also in Cleveland that he can bring to Philadelphia, team up with scouting department, getting ready for the Sixers 22nd overall pick. But again, Bob Myers was a part of that. He was in Chicago. He was looking at those draft picks at the combine, and he's done some of his own research with the scouting department here. So I think that plus the free agents, those types of things, they'll come together for that with the rest of the front office for that. But on the daily stuff, I think that's going to be more on the Gansey side. But when the big things come into play, Gansey is still the guy, but we know that the ultimate guy will be Bob Myers.
So here's the thing. I'm curious at how you analyze Spurs and Knicks. Wemby at the Garden and looking at the matchup. It's going to be a fascinating series. And, Knicks burying teams. Cousins played really well, shot the ball really well, great defense. I mean, they're role players. This is a great series. How do you kind of see? I'm surprised the Spurs are this big of a favorite, to be honest with you.
So was I, because even after the Knicks won the series, after the sweep against Cleveland, immediately went to, our spot, Bet365, and looked at what they had to say. And they had both teams against the Knicks. San Antonio was a 4-point favorite at that time, and the Spurs were a 6-point favorite. And I was like, that's interesting, just because of the fact that they did what they did. Are they minimizing? Of course, the East is weaker, but they did what they did. I'm always big on if they didn't do it in the manner in which they did, people would be saying, well, you couldn't get by the Cleveland Cavaliers or the Sixers in less than 6 or 7 games. They demolished both of those teams. So that's a knock on them for doing that. And I would be saying the same thing on the other side if it went the same way with the Western Conference teams. So that was interesting. And I took a look at it yesterday, and it was a 4.5-point favorite they had the Spurs at right now. So with that, we'll see. The Spurs record with the Knicks this year, mentioned a couple already. They played 3 games because of the Cup. They won 2 of the 3. The game that they lost, I believe it was by 4 points in San Antonio. Guys have had career games against the Spurs with Wembanyama and Castle on the floor as well. So taking the 2 or 3 from them this year, figuring out a way to defend Wembanyama. Well, I would guess based on what we saw at that time, OG Anunoby will also get some of that assignment with Karl Anthony Towns and how they defend him. I'd be very curious to see what the other matchups are going to be for this team. So I think it's not going to be a sweep either side. Obviously, I think it's going to be a very competitive series. I am surprised that they have them right now as a 4.5-point favorite at home, as if the Knicks, maybe it's the layoff too, just the time off that they look at game 1 and say, yeah, they might come out of the gate a little rusty because of all the time that they've had off. I believe it would be 8 days and some change. So, or no, 9 days and some change that they would have off. So maybe that's a part of it. But I do think it'd be a little bit more competitive than what people were saying about whoever comes out of the West is just going to flat out demolish anybody in the East.
So how do they defend him, right? Like, are they going to put like Hart on him? Or are they going to put like Robinson?
No, that's the Anunoby, I think, is going to get.
OG, yeah. I meant
Yeah.
OG. Yeah.
Yeah. So Anunoby got a lot of the assignment during the regular season. Towns and Mitchell for
Yeah.
sure. And yeah, Hart will get his opportunity.
No, I bet OG because I was thinking
but I'm
Robinson's
agree
got
with
the
you.
finger. He's not as
Yeah.
he can't get out there. I would not put Cat on him because he'll be in foul trouble quick.
Yeah. The one thing I will say is he can keep up with him with his foot speed. Is just can you keep your hands out of the cookie jar and not pick up a silly foul because you're going against him? And you're right, he will pick up those silly fouls. So I think I think OG Anunoby maybe gets the first assignment, and then we'll see where it goes from there. Karl Anthony Towns will have his moments. Mitchell Robinson, even with the finger, don't know his availability yet. They said that Mike
Says he's
Brown
going to
said
play, right? I mean, he says he's going to
Sunday
play.
he's not cleared yet. He
Yeah.
still has to go through some stuff to get cleared for Wednesday, and then they'll see. But for sure, man, I mean, he's a difficult cover. Now, Caruso did a really nice job of slowing him down, but you can only slow him down but so much when you have a 6'3" guy on him. Now, Anunoby, 6'8", way more physical, has had success already in the past, and we'll see. But I think a lot of that will go to Anunoby to answer your question of how they defend them. You'll send your double teams. You'll send those extra bodies at him to try to disrupt some things, maybe get him a little flustered. Because you saw when he got a little flustered from time to time,
Oh, yeah.
Minnesota, he throws the elbow at Nas Reed.
Yeah.
Same thing with OKC, got a little flustered. He did some things that could have resulted in maybe a technical foul or flagrant one as well. So, yeah, just go out there, make your adjustments. These two teams are way different than what they saw each other in December in the Cup, and then I believe it was January or February. You guys remember when San Antonio was on that 15-game winning streak, I believe it was. They went into New York after they left Philadelphia. They went into New York on Sunday. New York snapped that winning streak. So they've had success. So they should feel confident, at least with that. Two different teams from where they were earlier in the year, but the two best going against each other now for the championship.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. My brother, you're the greatest. We love you, pal. What time?
Right
1
back
o'clock?
at you, man.
What are you, 1 o'clock?
3 o'clock.
3 o'clock.
3
Right.
o'clock.
3 o'clock
Yeah,
today.
3 o'clock today.
It's Monday. Friday news dump is past, so Devon's talking about it again. We love you, pal. Thanks, brother.
Thanks. Love you guys. See you.
Here he is, Devon Givens, NBA. All right, we'll come back. Still lots to do. Love Philly. Murph, Brain still out there. But first, a word from our friends. Let's talk TrueMark Credit Union. You know what we like? Something that actually rewards the way you already spend your money. That's exactly what you get with the Everyday Elite Visa credit card from TrueMark Credit Union. We're talking 4.5 up to 4% cash back on eligible everyday purchases, including gas. And you know what it's like filling the pump right now. And for a limited time, new card holders also get a 0% introductory APR on purchases for the first 12 months, then 17.99 APR after that. More cash back, less catch. Apply today at TrueMark.com, where you can stop by any of the TrueMark Credit Union's 24 branch locations. That's right. You got to check out TrueMark.com. Rates based on creditworthiness, 4% cash back on eligible purchases. Bonus categories capped annually. Restrictions apply. Visit TrueMark.com for details. Insured by the NCUA. Wawa's got tacos. Tacos. Oh, Wawa expanding its freshly prepared food lineup with new seasoned beef tacos available for a limited time. Built to deliver bold, craveable flavor in every bite. We're talking warm, soft tortillas filled with Wawa's savory, juicy, boldly seasoned beef, plus fresh toppings that you can customize your way. You got options too, from seasoned beef, chicken, steak, black beans, shredded cheddar cheese. Pick up 2 spreads like salsa roja, garlic aioli, barbecue, ranch, buffalo, chipotle, and you top it off with shredded lettuce, salsa, fire-roasted corn, onions, or pickled jalapenos, all packed in a 6-inch soft flour tortilla, making it perfect handheld or on-the-go option. Seasoned beef tacos doesn't stop, all right? It's available across the full lineup, including burritos, bowls, and quesadillas, so you can mix and match and build the meal that fits your appetite. But don't wait. The lineup is only here for a limited time while supplies last. Next time you're at Wawa, grab a taco and find your new go-to order.
Go for some tacos today.
And every time I hear it, I see that spot, I go, tacos.
Yeah.
Yeah, tacos, man.
Go for some right now.
Go for some tacos, man. All right. Couple things. One, I know we got to go back in the day, thanks to our friends at TrueMark Credit Union.
Mm-hmm.
Where are we headed?
Well, we're going. Yesterday was the anniversary of a great day in Philadelphia. 1983.
We're going back. We're going back. We're going back in the day with TrueMark. Oh yeah!
Yep. Back when times were good. Yesterday was the anniversary.
Into Kareem, knocked away by Cheeks and a steal. Cheeks will use up the clock. No, Malone. And that may do it. And look at the Sixer bench. They know it.
That defense, right again, that defense comes up with a big play.
Magic Johnson misses a three-pointer. And
Cheek.
the Philadelphia 76ers, Maurice Cheeks.
Yeah, I ain't giving it to you, Doc.
Be the World Champions, folks. And Billy's done it, finally.
That's 1 second left on the clock.
I don't think they're going to play that 1 second. Into Kareem, knocked away by Cheeks and a
Wait, let her go again. There's Maurice.
Man, we thought that would be one of a few.
Well, did you see Billy C? That's where they screwed up this whole franchise.
Yes.
That man should have ran the franchise. Should have been our Pat Riley.
1,000%.
I mean, he would have had his predecessor.
Because he was cool like Pat.
Not at all, Billy C. He could have named his own predecessor.
Yep.
Instead of having all these other fools hiring him, right? Like, let Billy C. be the shepherd.
Just a disaster.
And you know, you're watching that clip. It feels like ancient. It feels like it's ancient.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, there's Moses. What the heck? Like, it's like that.
It's like the
kind of,
transatlantic accent from the 40s.
It's awful. It all you do the thing for Pat.
Yeah. Oh, there goes Mo Cheeks down the corner. Your man says, Julius.
Right, like, you know.
See, there's a jumper. See, from the
like,
corner.
it's not even. It's so yellowed.
Yes.
Oh my God, just terrible, terrible. All right, we got Love Philly coming up.
Murphy.
It's a Murphy Monday. I was gonna say Murphy
Hey,
Monday.
Tuesday.
Yeah, Monday. Sunday, Monday. And the Brain.
Oh yeah, Brain sitting pretty. You said.
Yeah, Brain's sitting real pretty. All right. Love Philly is now. Philadelphia doesn't pretend. Philadelphia is. It's not just the title Love Philly, it's a feeling. It's a heartbeat. A city that never asked for permission to be itself. That's us, right? That's our personality. Philadelphia doesn't pretend. Philadelphia is. And now in 2026, the world comes back to Philadelphia. Not just to remember, but to celebrate. The show isn't just about what's happening. It's about who we are while it's happening. Because Philadelphia isn't a backdrop. It's a character. It's the voice that tells it like it is. The guy at the end of the bar who doesn't sugarcoat a thing. It's the family that's been on the same block for generations. It's the artist, the athlete, the builder, the believer. It's the lifer, the dreamers, the grinders. It's all of us. And that's what Love Philly's about. We're going to sit with people that make this place go. The ones who built it, the ones carrying it, the ones pushing it forward. The legends who left their mark. Not just the championships, not just the headlines, but the moments in between. The way the city shows up for itself, the way it refuses to be anything other than real. And through it all, we're going to remind ourselves and show the world what Philadelphia is. It's not just a stereotype. It's not a punchline. It's a foundation. It's a force. It's a city that gave birth to a nation and never stopped building. So as the country turns 250 and the spotlight finds Philadelphia again, this is our moment to tell the story the right way. Not polished, not filtered, real, authentic, proud. Because this city just doesn't rise to the occasion. It defines it. This is Love Philly. Thanks to our friends at Wawa. Wawa loves Philly. We love our Wawa. There it is. Cheesecake Dom just hit me up and says, how did that team only win one?
Right. That's what I'm saying. We thought we had a few coming.
You remember what happened in the following year?
No. Oh, the swept, right? The Nets?
They didn't get swept, but they lost in 5 to the Nets.
Yeah.
They were down 2-0. They came back and won the next 2. And then Doc said mail in the stats, and they lost. I think Doc was a mush.
Nah, dude, Doc's cool.
Yeah, of
you
course.
can't be a mush if you're cool.
I know, but,
Yeah,
he made the big proclamation. They lost the game. Like, I remember being a kid going, oh, we're going to win. Doc said we're going to win it. Mail in the stats. All right. And they lost. I was like, what?
He was just trying to get his moment like Moses had the year before, the faux.
That back then where I love when guys would guarantee stuff.
Yeah.
And now all these years later, we watch the Knicks and the Spurs.
And that's not only that, it's just ineptitude. It's just like total. They don't do anything right. They just don't do anything right.
No, they're among the worst
They got
franchises.
Tyrese.
But they're among the worst franchises in all sports.
They are easily. I mean, it's hard, the Jets, but
I mean,
the Browns. They feel like that,
dude. They haven't been out of the second round since 2001, and that was it. And then,
and recently they've had a lot of max players. There's a lot of big contracts.
I mean,
they stink.
I mean, that says something, man. Like they really are one of the worst franchises.
Yeah,
in all sports.
But easily, they got to be a top 5.
If you're thinking about awful franchises, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the NFL, it's the Jets, the Browns, the Arizona Cardinals, right?
Yeah. Did they get to a Super Bowl though recently?
Arizona was in. They played Pittsburgh the year the Eagles.
Yeah. So they're better off than the Sixers,
right?
They've had a better last 40 years than the Sixers.
Okay, all right. So Jets, Browns, baseball. I mean, obviously, you have these small market teams that haven't done anything.
Yeah,
your Pirates.
Pirates are the same, I guess. They've had the same amount of success.
Although, like the White Sox had success.
Yeah.
Texas had success.
Cleveland's had success.
Cleveland's had success, right? Yeah. So when you're thinking about these bad teams, even like I guess are they just down there with like the Charlotte Hornets?
Yes, that's where they stand. It's ridiculous. They were like an elite franchise. Celtics, Lakers, Sixers.
Yeah, they were the third team. No, sometimes they got ignored.
Sure,
but they were still the third team.
Yeah, man.
And now they're
a joke,
an embarrassment.
They are an embarrassment the way they're run.
That says something.
It says a lot.
So I'm wondering.
The Bullets or the Wizards?
Yes, there you go. They're the Wizards.
They are, just with a higher payroll.
And the Wizards got Champagne's brother. They're not even as good as the Wizards because they traded. At least they kept Champagne, the other one. So we love to go 4 for 4 with Murph.
Yeah, let's get it.
And I wonder. We got to take a quick TO first, but I wonder where Murph is going to be. Like, it's hard. Like, nobody wants to be overly negative, right? On a Monday, especially. It's not good for our sanity.
No, not on the first day of the week.
But I don't know how you spin any of this. Even like the Eagles, which is our shining star, the bright star in the sky, is a momentous day because you lose A.J. Brown today.
Yeah, it's a weird day. You're losing, One of your best offensive
A
players.
guy that we loved.
Yes.
So even that's not the greatest panacea on a Monday.
No. Flyers, but, free agency's not that great.
Well, I mean, look, and it's, let's be real here. It's still ways to go. You're still in the rebuild type of thing.
Yep.
All right. Got to take a quick TO. We'll come back on a Murphy Monday and talk to Murph. I'm curious to see where his head is at. But first, a word from our friends. Let's talk BetPark Sportsbook online casino app. The Brain will be with us in a little bit. And the Brain's sitting on a 90-1 ticket on the Spurs to win it all. 90-1. Wow. That's wild.
He probably bet a little more than 1,000 too, so that's some big money coming.
That's amazing, man. So, I don't know how the Knicks are the other side of it. I don't think they should be that big of an underdog.
They have that stretch of 11 games unlike any other team ever. 11 straight victories.
I think I'm with the Brain. Brain's been saying that forever. He's locked in right now, so you can check him out. Hey, the BetPark Sportsbook online casino app has all the fun. New customers get up to $500 casino bonus back in the first 24 hours, plus 250 spins on the soccer-themed slot game Gold Trio Soccer. Going to be 21 in PA, New Jersey, Michigan, Maryland. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Let's talk about Xfinity. Let's talk about your Wi-Fi. You need to make sure it's buzzing. And the beauty of Xfinity is you got a 5-year price guarantee. It's always buzzing. It's reliable. It's intelligent Wi-Fi. And most importantly, it's the same price for 5 years. That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Wi-Fi that makes everything in your home work together. Finds and fixes problems before you notice them. Super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. You can stream the game even when the whole family's online, undeterred. All your devices working in perfect harmony for 5 whole years. The best part, no annual contracts, no hidden fees. Xfinity's best equipment included. Your Wi-Fi, it should stay reliable, and the price should stay put. So lock in your price, unlock the possibilities with Xfinity. Learn more, Xfinity.com. Xfinity, imagine that. Select plans only, restrictions apply. Let's go to Murph on the Xfinity mobile call-in line. All right, well, let's go right to Murph. Without further ado, the great columnist for the Inquirer, David Murphy. Good morning, Murph.
Good morning. How you guys doing?
I mean, I'm curious about you as one of the voices of this city, right? Superb columnist that you are. It's a Monday. Mental health. It's not a great Monday across the Delaware Valley.
Why do you say that?
Well, let's start. The Phillies were 4-2 on the road trip, but showed very much why they're going to be a struggle with the bats, especially against left-handed pitching.
I agree with that.
The Sixers, you saw Game 7 of the Western Conference Finals with 2 pieces starring in the game that they jettisoned to get under the luxury tax.
And that doesn't even include Isaiah Joe, who they're going to trade this offseason probably for some draft capital.
Correct. And then today is June 1st, and we expect A.J. Brown to be traded. So when you lay it all out, it's beautiful outside, but our sports climate does not match.
Man, I was feeling good before I hopped on, but you're really bringing me down. I feel like it's usually out.
Yeah. I'm just giving you the facts.
He does look pretty good today. You do look like you're in a good mood. It looks like it's photo day at class today. You got your hair done, nice collar shirt on.
You slept?
Yeah, I took my one shower for the week this morning, so but I'm getting down in the dirt later on. I got some serious yard work to get done, so I figured I'd comb my hair for you guys and then let it all hang out.
I like it.
Yeah, it hasn't gone unnoticed.
Well, all right. We always go 4 for 4.
But to tell you to hop in, I think the one thing I would say is that everything you're saying is true, but it's like I don't know if this is sadder or not, but I think it's all been true for so long that I think it's not there's nothing I feel like
Revelatory.
right. I feel like we've all kind of accepted everything I mean the Sixers, are the Sixers. It's you're kind of numb to it at this point. I'll be honest with you. It's funny that the Champagne. I'm just gonna call him Champagne, but I totally forgot that he started his career here. And like, look, I was going back and forth with a buddy of mine who happens to be a Knicks fan, and he's a big hoop head. And we both agreed, like, look, it's definitely one of the thing about the Sixers is like there's a lot of stuff that's like you could joke about I'm sure they had the reasons for getting rid of Champagne. Look, I don't think the Spurs would be any different if Quentin Grimes or Kelly Oubre was on the team in place of him. You know, he's a role player. It's not the kind of thing that I mean the Celtics trade away Aaron Namath. It happens all the time, but it just happens so much with the Sixers that it's a great bit. It's a great running gag.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Yeah,
I just chuckle every time I think about it.
And it's like they do it in the most absurd way. It's not like they like it's not like they traded away Champagne for peanuts on the dollar. They cut him so that Mac McClung could go into the dunk contest.
Yes.
It's absurd stuff like that. And honestly, it's kind of enjoyable at this point in time. It's like they're like Kramer a little bit. Anytime they burst through the door, you kind of chuckle. The Phillies look.
But wait, before we get to the Phillies, might as well go one by one and stay with it real quick. So Friday night, the Sixers make their hire, right?
They do. Yeah.
You get your GM, and you release it at 5:15 on a Friday night. I mean, that's the burial of the news cycle.
I'm glad your head went there because it was the first thing I thought. I was at the park with Max at like 6:00, and I got a text from one of our editors saying, "Hey, you around? Can you give us your thoughts on this?" Essentially, and I was like, "My thoughts are, why the hell are you announcing this hire at 6:00 on a Friday? Like that's when you bury like the VG files if they come out. Like it's not where you put it's. And the thing is, it's like I don't know the guy. Look, anybody. The thing about most of this stuff is unless the guy has an established reputation,
right?
Nobody can weigh in intelligently unless you were in the interview room. Like we'll see what he says. But look, there's a chance he's a very good hire. He's from outside the organization. He's a fresh face. He's not. He's not kind of. He's outside the profile of the guys that Harris has hired in Colangelo and Morey in the past, and who knows, But yeah, why are you? Well, this should be if you want to sell this as a good thing for the organization. Why are you leaking it to Shams? On Friday night. I don't know. I don't even know if they've officially announced it yet. Have they, or did they? Did they finally? Did they announce?
I don't know if they've officially.
No, I mean the Shams had it out, and I guess they acknowledged it, but that's it.
Okay.
I mean,
But there's no press conference. As far as I know, there's no press conference scheduled or anything like that. And then that only then feeds into the perception that this is really Bob Meyer's team. Who look, it would be a good perception if he didn't, if he essentially hasn't said, I don't want to be a full-time president and I want to live in California, because it only feeds into the absenteeism that has kind of plagued this it's just
he's working remote.
Yeah, exactly. He's a true millennial. Yeah, it's just whatever. I mean, it is whatever. But I do think the Champagne thing, it is an interesting thing. It's easy to roll your eyes at and be like, you could cherry pick anything. But that I was a Daryl Morey fan, and I think that if you look at most of his decisions, they put the team in a better place. He came in. Now, keep in mind, he came in when Al Horford was here, and people were like, "This team's stuck." There's no, they're done essentially. They've got Al Horford for the next 4 years. and he somehow kind of wiggled out of it, and every move he's made has led to a better move, just about. Even the Harden thing, they get a first round unprotected from the Clippers. Even the PG thing, they got VJ Edgecombe because they stunk so bad. Now I'm not going to give him. We're not going to relitigate all of this, but my biggest issue with him and why I thought it made perfect sense to part ways with him is he just he never showed any interest in kind of developing developing guys the way
Bench.
yeah, or just like guys, when you
Yeah,
look at the
guys.
organization that you look at the organization that snatched these guys up, Oklahoma City with Isaiah Joe and Jared McCain, San Antonio with Champagne and Bassie, I think even was there, even though he didn't turn out. But the fact is, you have 15 guys on the bench. Like, why aren't you keeping some of these guys around to see what happens? It directly correlates to the lack of a bench, against the Knicks. Look, at the very least, Julius Champagne would have been better than Dominic Barlow, and I really don't understand, why it seemed like the Sixers never really went out of their way to try to see what happens with some of these young guys.
The fact that you bring it up, the fact that it's to make room for the slam dunk contest, encapsulates everything about this franchise.
Yeah, I
guess.
I mean,
6 foot. What? Just for 2-3 days so we can do the slam dunk. It's like absurd.
It really is the height of absurdity. I mean, you really can't make it up. But
he's averaging 11 and 5 for a team going to the finals.
Well,
I'm with you. It's
he won the game.
hilarious.
He won Game 7. Like he got hot in the third quarter, completely won Game 7. Like Kelly Oubre's not doing that.
No. But look, I'm saying the Spurs. I don't know that he's a difference maker for the Spurs. I think he's on the perfect team for them. I don't know how.
Yeah, I get it, but like he's a real wing, like who plays.
I'm not arguing it. I'm not arguing. I'm just explaining what I was saying in terms of like.
Yeah, no.
I think
McCain, and you're the McCain.
I think it's not like McCain where
because
you watch McCain. You watch McCain and you're like, how could anybody think this guy was worth getting rid of 2 years into this? And then you have there's this Stockholm syndrome among a certain segment of Sixers fans who are like so beaten down and abused that they defend it, Yeah. They're like, oh nah, McCain never could have played with Maxey and Edgecombe. It's like, all right, well, guess what? He's 2 years into a 5-year deal and the Sixers aren't going anywhere. So, could he have been traded for more than a number 22 draft pick that you have to use right now? Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty obvious he could have. What would he get traded for right now?
I mean, how do you listen to Nick Nurse with a straight face after he couldn't find minutes for him?
Well, and that's I don't get it. I really don't understand. I mean, maybe they really thought Embiid was all of a sudden they were actually contenders and Embiid had gotten over the mountain, and I don't know, but I think that this is one of those things where there needs to be an organizational, and it's what San Antonio and Oklahoma City have always done. There's been a organizational synergy at all three phases: on the court with the players, on the bench with the coaches, and in the front office. And you even see Shea. Somebody asked Shea about what moves they need to make this offseason, and he was like, that's Sam Presti's job. He's the best general manager in the league,
Yeah.
And Dagenham, I've always been super impressed when listening to him talk because you can tell, yeah, he's a coach, right? But he's an organization. He's a intermediary between the court and the front office. Like it's all, he thinks like a GM just as much as Brad Stevens probably did when he was with the Celtics. And that pays, this year out of any, when you've got clearly these two timelines and the one timeline all of a sudden is like, all right, we need to be thinking a little more future oriented. How do you not say, all right, Nick, it might make us a worse team against the Wizards on a Wednesday night in January if Jared McCain is on the bench and whatever, Quentin Grimes is getting those minutes, but play the guy. And we want to play him, 25, 30 minutes a night. He needs to get back in shape, and let's see what happens. it's not necessarily about development as much as it is like showcasing your guys and finding out about them and giving them a chance. And that was always my biggest thing with Jared McKean probably does not fit on a team with Tyrese Maxey and VJ Edgecombe. I'll grant you that. I'm not gonna sit here and get bogged down in an argument about that. But you don't got to worry about that right now. Like you ain't winning the finals this year, so so what are you doing? You know? Yeah, it's and I don't know, but the thing is, you'd love to blame that on Morey, and I think it definitely was his. I definitely think he had a certain philosophy that led to Jared McCain getting traded. But Bob Myers said in the press conference, like we knew about it, and he essentially said, all right, let's wait and see what happens. That trade, we'll see what happens down the road and what we, like clearly they were on board with it too. This wasn't Darryl saying, let's get rid of Jared McCain because I want to chase an aging superstar. This was like the whole organization thinking this is the right move right now, and the guy who signed off on it, it sounds like, is the guy in charge now, who just hired a guy who traded for James Harden, So I don't know.
Well, let's perfect transition from, you mentioned Morey and the baseball equivalent to Daryl Morey, Dave Dombrowski.
See, now I actually think Daryl's much better than Dave, but again, I'm not gonna litigate that. Dave drives me nuts.
I feel you. Listen,
whoa,
4-2, like you'd feel better. You go on the West Coast trip, you go 4-2. The problem is you get skunked by Roboleski, another lefty, skunked by Yamamoto, and it's the Dodgers, right? So you feel like, oh man, it messes with you.
I'm with you, and I think, look, the lefty thing is don't get me wrong, it's absolutely a thing, but the bigger problem is the Yamamoto thing. Like, look, you play lefties once, once a series, maybe once, they faced the lefty, 20, 24, 25, 26 sometimes this year. The problem is you got to make your hay, you got to make an equivalent amount of hay to offset that which you lose against lefties, and they're not doing that, and that to me is the biggest problem. Like these guys, like it's not like they're it's not like they're the Bronx Bombers when there's a righty on there,
right?
And that's the problem, and it's a problem when you only have I think there's 3 guys with like a 340 or better on base percentage, and then everybody else is below 290. It's just like that's baseball, man. Like you can only have so many holes in your lineup, and it's not good when the holes when the non-holes are the exception. They've got like inverted holes. They've got like 2 guys who can hit, and then it's like, all right, well, let's get Bryce and Kyle up again in a couple innings.
That's it. That's all they got. There's nothing else.
And look, I mean, to me, the biggest disappointment of the season and of the weekend, but I mean, Painter, unfortunately, just I'm not going to bury the guy and leave him for dead, but he's obviously not going to be kind of the X factor that everybody hoped he would be. And yeah, I mean that's disappointing. All that said, look, when you got Christopher Sanchez pitching the way he's pitching,
yes,
you've got Zach Wheeler behind him, and you've got Jesus Luzardo, who's if he doesn't give up 10 runs, he's gonna give you 7 and 1 or 2. But can win a game all by. They've got 3 guys who can win a game all by himself, just about. And the bullpen is a little better this year. At least Brad Keller's like not a total gas can, which is what you kind of expect these days out of the free agent market with the Phillies. They can win a series, but
can they though? Like if their offense was middle of the road, like I'm with you. If their offense is 16th, 18th, I mean, I'm looking now. They're 29th in average, 30th in OBP, and 27th in runs. I mean, can you win a series like that?
All I'm saying, let me rephrase. They'll be the exact same team they were against the Dodgers last year, and hey, they could have won that series if it, they would have had to play perfect. But I'm with it. The frustrating thing is, the small holes that you theoretically can fill at the margins haven't been filled, and that's the most baffling thing about Dombrowski. I mean, every June we're talking about the same. Oh man, looks like we might need another right-handed hitter. Like, holy crap! Who saw that
Yeah,
one
but
coming?
Bryce is the problem.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, I mean, it's just. But again, I feel bad because I bring it up every time. But Trey Turner's the guy right now that you need more out of. I know
Yeah,
he
he's
hit a couple
awful.
home runs, but dude, the guy's like, I think that's part of me thinks, at least if I was Bryce Harper, that's what would have gotten in my craw the most about Dombrowski's comments. It's like, dude, Trey Turner's making more money than I am, and
Yeah.
guy's like 3 for his last 80 in the postseason. Not really, but he hasn't hit since the NLCS series, since before the NLCS series against the Dodgers. And right now he's like one of the 15 worst hitters in the league right now, or at least he was before he hit those home runs. A couple nights ago, whenever that was. But look, it actually speaks. Well, it actually speaks. They're crazy. I mean, it speaks to something that they're somehow over 500, and they have 2.5 hitters who are even competent. And if Trey Turner just hit league average, they might actually have a chance at the division.
What also cracks me up is I'm sure it sounded like a great idea at some point in the offseason after Trey Turner's coming off hit of the batting title. But like Phillies charity auctions, every game you see the advertisement for a hitting lesson with Trey Turner. This can't be for real. This is what they decided on. Like, it had to sound like such a great idea for an auction.
That's like Don Brown's a hitting coach. Dom's a great. I love Don Brown. He's awesome, and I would send my kid to him absolutely. But it's just funny when like Don Brown's in Norristown teaching hitting, and he might actually have a better case for it than Trey Turner right now.
Right.
Yeah, man, it's just like that. But the thing, I mean, the Adolis Garcia thing is it's like the moment he signed that contract, everyone knew it was just a waste of $10 million, the way it would be with Whit Merrifield and
Yeah, I was a sucker.
Like,
I was hoping that out of that ballpark in Texas, because it's like the ball doesn't move.
right.
Thinking, well, maybe, sometimes guys switch leagues, they have a renaissance. I mean, I was hanging my hat on that.
Yeah, you were hoping. That's fine. But hope isn't a strategy, man.
Yeah.
It's
Touche, my brother. Yes.
No, I don't blame you. You're a fan. But Dave Dombrowski can't be hoping. He's the GM, there's again, Laureano last offseason. I forget the guy this year that I was curious why they didn't sign, but I think he's with the A's, or he started with the A's. But there's a kind of guy like a right-handed hitter who can mash lefties is the easiest thing to find in baseball. It's like the skill that is cheapest to acquire at any stage of the offseason, the trade. They did it last year with Harrison Bader, who also stinks this year. But just the fact that this is five years now that it's the same. It's been the same thing. Like, oh man, we really could use another right-handed bat. It's maddening.
Dude, Trey Turner versus left-handed pitching is batting 183.
183?
Yeah. His OBP is 284 against left-handers.
Oh my God. And you know what's nuts is and you look at my biggest beef too is they don't develop any talent. Like they're again, that system is wretched. It's a wasteland. Yeah. They don't develop anyone.
Yeah, the Ada Miller thing is just our Lock the March, our beat writer who's really good and plugged in. She just had she just wrote a little bit about Ada Miller today, and the fact that he's not. I mean, he's stepping back from baseball activities now, and look, he's the real deal, man. And it's that is the biggest tragedy, whatever the word is, less loaded word you want to use for tragedy is that's the big shame of the season, because he would be up here right now, and it's just bad luck, but I'm with you. Yeah, they need to. They sure haven't, they sure have not developed anybody in the 5 years that Dombrowski has been here. Now, Rincones, I like Rincones. I actually think he's worth a shot. Bring him up here and platoon him with Garcia, but beyond that, you're right. There's just not much right now.
As good as Aiden Miller, like maybe he's going to be great, but they also, Kevin McGonigal was right here in their backyard, and they didn't make a play for him. He's looking pretty good right now.
I'm with you. I'm absolutely.
Let's not talk about that. That's a sore subject for me.
Right.
All right,
but it's like, what do we do?
Yeah,
I love that kid.
It's it's crazy. I think. I mean, to me, they got to go. They got to make a play for Mike Trout at this point. I've always been the person who's kind of poo-pooed that.
I keep saying it. You got no choice.
Yeah. It's just a question of what is that price tag going to be, and is it
the more money you spend, the less it's going to be.
Yeah, well then I'd spend all the money. I would always spend money to. Here's a question: would you trade Painter for Mike Trout right now if the Angels came to you and said straight up?
Yeah, I would.
That's crazy, isn't it?
It is, because I try to get Trout without giving up Painter because I'm going to be spending the money. But, I don't know what else to do. I'm looking at these other bats, and who can I possibly get? It's a problem. It's a major, major problem.
Yeah, and I mean, look, Buxton's obviously the other guy out there, right?
Wow, you could have had him before the injuries. Like when he was more off, he's been healthy over the last year and a half. Look at him, man. All he does is he's a great ball player. Great ball player.
But the injury.
I won him 2 years ago.
Yeah, the injury thing is a thing. I would like last year at the trade deadline. I was super nervous. I was super nervous about giving up anything of value for him just because it was the only time he'd been healthy in his.
I was
career.
hoping him,
Yeah, he's been great. The thing, in hindsight, man, my brain is really fried right now. The guy from the White Sox that the Mets got,
Lewis Robert Jr.
Yeah. He that's the kind of thing like Dombrowski. Anyone can spend at the top of the market, right? But it's taking these kind of value plays on guys whose value is diminished a little bit. That's a lot of times that's where you make your biggest strides, and it didn't cost the Mets a whole lot to get Luis Robert Jr. and he's been pretty good for them this year. He certainly would be great for the Phillies this year, given the bar given the low bar that he would have to.
I mean, he's hitting 224 with 2 home runs.
Luis Robert. I mean, yeah. Last time I looked, he had an 800 OPS, and he really evened out his strikeout to walk rate. But I'll be honest, I haven't checked on him in probably a month or so. What's his OPS?
656.
All right, never mind then. He had a really good eight-hole.
It's funny, in our chat, Eddie Wright said, well, would you go Painter, Aiden Miller plus for Skubal? Yeah, in a second.
Yeah.
But those guys aren't getting you Skubal.
No. I would not trade Aiden Miller. I would not.
No?
It's trade a guy with a bad back?
I think Aiden Miller is, he's the kind of guy you have to have hit for you. You can't keep adding guys who are making.
I don't know what he is. I don't know that he's the second coming. I don't know.
No, I don't know that he's the second coming.
If I could get Skubal, I gotta do it.
Well, is Skubal gonna hit against lefties for them? Like what?
Well, no, but that's the point. Is that I can go with Skubal and I can have the greatest pitching staff ever assembled.
Yeah, the greatest pitching staff ever assembled to lose every playoff game 1-0 in the 12th inning.
Well, so I'll take my chances that I'll get a Bryce or Schwarbaum. I mean, that's what I would do.
I mean, Aiden Miller hit 262 last year in the minors. I mean, I don't know.
Right, it's not like he's a big power guy.
Because listen to this boomer using batting average. Come on, man. No one. What's his on base percentage?
392.
Okay, that would be the best on the Phillies by far right now.
Well, that's true.
Hey,
I mean, that
Walk's
would
as
be
good as-
true, but I mean, we don't need someone to walk. We need some pop.
All right, but look, chances are he doesn't pan out because that's just how it is with every prospect. But I think he's got. Put it this way, I think I'm no scout, but I've watched all these guys, in person, Dominic, Kingery, Singleton, and I'm just saying Miller's the one where I'm like, all right, this guy is, like he's the best of them. He's
Which means he's at least a bench player, unlike the other guy.
And look, I'm with you, man. I mean, and
Oh,
in terms of a bad back, like that's a concern. That's not a one-off concern necessarily. If he's got a back that's
He can't even partake in baseball activities.
All right, let's go. Last thing, Murph. It's AJ Day.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
Well, again, like to go back to the earlier theme, I was thinking about this today. Like, let's say there was absolutely no build up to this, right? Like AJ was perfectly happy, whatever. Everything remains the same except that it has not been a foregone conclusion that he is going to be traded. And then all of a sudden you wake up and AJ Brown will get traded. I think the reaction would be totally different than it's going to be now after an entire offseason plus, really it's been a multi-year saga at this point. But I feel like people have gotten to a point where they're fixated on what the most important thing is what the Eagles are going to get, and how he's going to be a genius for doing it, and everyone's kind of accepted the fact that Brown's not going to be here. But I think it's kind of flip the cycle where we're underselling how much they're going to miss with him. I mean, this guy AJ Brown's like Julio Jones, Randy Moss. He's that tier of Justin Jefferson. He's that tier of receiver. He just is. You don't find one of those around. And Devontae Smith's great. Don't get me wrong, but he's just not. So much of the Eagles' offense was a function of AJ Brown being this physical unicorn that you could just lock in on and throw the ball to and expect it to be caught. Whether there was traffic, wherever it was on the field. And, we'll see if Hurts needs that or not now, because he's always had that. And, DeAndre Hopkins did a lot for Deshaun Watson, I mean, you want to talk about a guy locking in on a guy. That was 5 years of just, pick and roll with those two. And we're going to see. We're going to find out. I'm somewhat skeptical. And I don't think Brown necessarily would be that guy going forward. I do think I do think time is starting to catch up to him a little bit, and I'm not sure. He certainly wasn't as dynamic and dominant last year as he was the previous 2 years. So maybe we would be having this conversation anyway. This is not necessarily saying that the Eagles shouldn't trade him. I just think that, however, AJ Brown of 22, 23, 24 isn't here, it's a big thing, that was a huge part of this Eagles offense.
Yeah.
So that's all. I'm not saying
they
shouldn't. I'm not saying they shouldn't do it. I'm just saying,
we're going to see. I mean, you got to hope this offense it changes the whole scope of this new Mannion offense. Changes the scope of everything. It opens up the run game, and through the run game, Jalen can throw it. So it's all about that.
It's about Jalen making throws that, like, everyone's talking about Devontae being Jackson Smith and Jigba, which is all well and good, but he's a totally different receiver than he makes his yards on throws that Jalen doesn't necessarily like to make all the time, and is going to have to make if that's what they're envisioning. And look, give Jalen credit. Anytime I've ever doubted him, he's come back and stuck it right where the sun don't shine. And it would not surprise me at all if he ends up doing that, but he needs to do it. And if he can't, then this offense could be in a world of trouble.
Yeah. No, I feel you, buddy. All right, brother, listen. Best to that little guy.
He's going nuts right now. Yeah, we will. Have fun.
See you, buddy. Get work on the weeding. See you, pal.
Yeah. Can't wait.
See you, brother. I gotta do that too. Ugh.
Yeah, you do that.
Well, yeah, somebody's got to do it.
I got
You think my 2 teenage boys are going to do it?
Oh man,
You know.
I can't. I don't even know if I can picture that. I can usually visualize things. I can't imagine
No,
you
I
out
hate
there
it.
doing yard
I
work.
freaking hate it. It's my least favorite thing to do in the world. Let's take quick TO, shall we? Let's talk about Valley Forge. You know that feeling where you just need a quick reset? You don't feel like dealing with airports, some complicated travel plan, right? Montgomery County, PA, such a great getaway spot. It's got a little bit of everything. History, shopping, entertainment, outdoor adventure, great food. Boom, just outside the city. You can spend the day exploring Valley Forge National Historical Park, hit the shops at King of Prussia, check out live entertainment, explore some of the amazing small towns and hidden gems throughout Montgomery County. And with America celebrating 250 years this summer, there's never been a better time to experience the history and the stories that helped shape this country. Couples trip, family weekend, sports road trip, Montgomery County makes it easy to get away without going far. Plan your trip, book your stay, start your retreat today. valleyforge.org. Wawa's got tacos. Tacos. Oh, Wawa expanding its freshly prepared food lineup with new seasoned beef tacos available for a limited time. Built to deliver bold, craveable flavor in every bite. We're talking warm, soft tortillas filled with Wawa's savory, juicy, boldly seasoned beef, plus fresh toppings that you can customize your way. You got options too, from seasoned beef, chicken, steak, black beans, shredded cheddar cheese. Pick up 2 spreads like salsa roja, garlic aioli, barbecue, ranch, buffalo, chipotle, and you top it off with shredded lettuce, salsa, fire-roasted corn, onions, or pickled jalapenos, all packed in a 6-inch soft flour tortilla, making it perfect handheld or on-the-go option. Seasoned beef tacos doesn't stop, all right? It's available across the full lineup, including burritos, bowls, and quesadillas, so you can mix and match and build the meal that fits your appetite. But don't wait. The lineup is only here for a limited time while supplies last. Next time you're at Wawa, grab a taco and find your new go-to order.
Brain. Red, the brain finder.
There he is, the grind, brought to us by the Bet Park Sportsbook and online casino app. La Brain. Nobody has been this hot, sussed out the NBA Finals the way the Brain has. Was all over the Knicks, was all over the Spurs, talked about OKC's vulnerability. Brain, it's been a great NBA playoff for you.
Yeah, look, every now and then you get it right by accident, right? But yeah, this actually went pretty good. I really can't complain about much. I really did feel strongly, Anthony, that again, I kept saying it, that this version of OKC was crazy short from what they were. And on top of being crazy short, their third best player on Holmgren was completely neutralized in this one matchup, uniquely so, versus San Antonio, where Holmgren had absolutely, like, what was it? Sam Darnold said he was seeing ghosts when he was on the Jets back in the day against the Patriots. You know, I think he was saying Wembiana instead of ghosts. And it just was really, really
Well, he
challenging
was
for
a
Trevor
ghost. He was like Tobias
He
Harris.
played like Casper. He played like,
Here's
Anthony,
a stat
again,
for you. Chet Holmgren became the first player in NBA playoff history to attempt 2 or less shots while playing 30 minutes in a Game 7.
Wow, that's weak.
He did not
I'll say this, if they
attempt
played
a single
again,
shot for the final 31 minutes he logged.
yeah, I think they were very fortunate to win 3 games. And if they played a best of 7 tomorrow, I think the Spurs would beat them a lot easier. I think as the series went on, we saw the Spurs they just had better players. But this finals, it's funny. To me, I was extremely confident the Knicks would beat OKC. Extremely. This series, I think, is very, very close. With the price, I definitely like the Knicks, no question. But I think the Spurs are really good, like really good. I think it's going to be a very good series. I'll be surprised if either team doesn't win at least 2 games. I think it'll be a close, competitive series. Lean Knicks with the price, but again, I really am impressed with San Antonio. I think they're quite a good team.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, because they actually could get in front of Brunson. So that's going to be a big deal. The fact that they can defend the way they can up top, right? They made SGA work. So they're going to make Brunson work. That's going to be a big key to that series.
No question about it. I couldn't agree with you more. Again, it's not going to be easy for him. But again, as I said, the Knicks, so to me, are just playing so well. The first thing is, though, game one, they're going to have another 50-day layoff, right? And it's just, I think it's hard when you have these layoffs to that first game to be good. Now, while I do lean Knicks in the series, game one, there's been a lot of money coming in on the underdog Knicks, which again, I get it. I really do get it. But actually, when the people are zigging, I'm going to zag. I actually like in game one, specifically laying forward at 4.5. I actually lean towards the Spurs. I think game one will be a little harder, in my opinion, at least, for a Knicks team that's been off for a while, trying to beat the best team they faced so far in the playoffs. They can do it. They're certainly good enough to do it, but I lean San Antonio in game one at least.
So you think the layoff will have more of an effect than just coming off like a long emotional series?
Yes, I do. Yeah, I really do. I feel like again, and again, let me make this clear. I'm the opposite. Like if you want to, with the antonym of a professional athlete, I'm a professional eater. That's about it, right? But in terms of being a professional athlete, I stay in my lane. But even the small amounts, like when I play basketball, tennis, whatever, I dare even say golf because I suck. But like when I take time off and I try to play again versus playing every day or consistently, for me at least, or even when I go to the gym and lift weights, if I take like 10 days off, I notice my strength even goes down a little bit just from those 10 days. You wouldn't think it would, but it does. At least
Yeah,
for
but
me.
they're not just sitting around watching TV and making bets.
BJ.
They're
It's different.
working out
It's
and
different.
running scrimmages and stuff.
I think it's totally different. In my opinion, I think it's absolutely 100% different playing in a game versus practice. I don't think it's even in the same. I think it's very different. I really do. Respectfully.
I agree with Brain. I do. And not there's a rhythm to playing. And when you're not playing,
yeah.
I think it throws you out of rhythm. The fact that the Spurs are used to this pace, I don't think it bothers them one bit.
Yeah, I believe in that.
Just my
I do
opinion.
think though,
Again,
there's you usually see a letdown after winning a big series like that. That was a tough series for them.
But here's where I'm gonna fight back on VG again. You see a letdown. I mean, this is in game one of the NBA Finals. I don't know how you could have a letdown in game one of the NBA Finals against the New York Knicks, with all due respect. I don't think they may just play a bad game, but I don't think it'll be a letdown at all. I think you're gonna get both teams max effort, playing balls to the walls. I don't think we're gonna see a letdown. It just, to me, it's, can the Knicks off the second. I mean, we saw it in game one against Cleveland. That's what I'm kind of going by. They were just completely off, and they were coming off these 50-point wins. And then it took them one game to kind of get their feeling. Okay, now we're okay. I could see that happening again.
And they're playing the best team by far they've seen.
By far.
Like you got played the Hawks, the Mutt Sixers, and the Mutt Hardens. Are you kidding me? Now all of a sudden you got to play the Spurs.
I agree. Look, again, it's just the hardest matchup they've had, and I just don't like the layoff thing. We'll see how it plays out. Maybe they're just going to be fresh as a daisy and kick butt. Certainly possible. And again, I really like this Knicks team. So again, I'm coming from a perspective where I have total respect for the Knicks, but I think game one specifically, I think does favor the Spurs. Again, we'll see how it plays out.
Who you like? Canes versus Vegas.
Yeah, I mean, with that one, Anthony, look, only way I can lean is with the Canes. Now, I'll say this in terms of the series price, but game one, it's around minus 150 plus 130 in that area. I'm not laying minus 150 in any of these games. Not one of them will I lay minus 150. And the individual games in Carolina, Anthony, I've talked just about this too many times to count. I never pay for home ice in hockey. So for me, the only way I would look at this series is Carolina when the games are in Vegas, Vegas when the games are in Carolina, Carolina in the series.
I think I like Vegas though.
For the series?
Yeah. I think they're
They're
real.
playing great.
Like, listen, Carolina's tough, and they're two great defensive teams. But I think Vegas got a little more. But we'll see.
Well, look, they had an incredible, sweeping Colorado was, to me, again, just an incredible feat. But again, as I always say, Anthony, again, it's like right now when the Knicks were losing during the regular season by that like 10-game stretch where they lost like 7-8 games by like 15 plus points a game versus playing them now. Colorado, with the injuries they had to McKinnon and McCarr, like that was a different Colorado a little bit than
without a doubt. When you lose Kel McCarr, I'm completely with you. Completely with you. Last thing, my brother, anything baseball wise that you like?
There is. There actually is, my friend. I'm going to give you, Anthony. I'm going to give you a few things. Eduardo Rodriguez has pitched really well this year. He really has pitched great. Sheehan of the Dodgers, who I really liked coming into the year, it's just been bad. You can take Erod plus around the Arizona plus around close to $1.50 area. I think that game's much closer to 50-50. I think I have the pitching edge, and I'll take my chances getting almost 3-2 odds. I'm going to give you three more. Chase Burns is going against Avila for the Royals. The Royals have lost. The Royals and Giants, God, those teams lose every freaking game.
Yeah.
I took Chase Burns in the 5-inning line. Burns will give you 5 or 6 innings, laying a half run. I delayed about $1.20-ish or so. But to me, Chase Burns has been top 5 pitcher in baseball. Royals keep losing. I'll lay a half run. I don't trust the Reds bullpen. Rather get out of Dodge after the 5th inning. Same thing I did with the Twins with Joe Ryan, who's been terrific all year. Bullpen game for the White Sox. White Sox missing, I can't even pronounce his last name. The Japanese guy who leads, Murakami, who leads the league in home runs. With him being on the DL, I'll lay a half run 5-inning line at around even price with Joe Ryan. When he pitches for the Twins are actually a good team. Last but not least, McGreevy has pitched well for the Cardinals. He has, but I'll still take DeGrom at a pick against him. I just will. I'll be a little stubborn here. I just think that more times than not, Texas
has been hitting the ball a little bit too. Like they've been hot offensively.
Again, I laid $1.12. I just thought it was very reasonable. I thought it should have been more like $1.25. Not a huge edge to me, but enough of an edge where I bet it.
All right, there it is. Brain, good stuff
Appreciate
as always, my brother. We'll talk to you later in the week.
Be good, guys.
See you, buddy. There he is, the Brain. All right, let's take care of some business. Let's talk about TrueMark Credit Union. That's right. You know what you like? Something actually rewards the way you are when you already spend your money. And you get rewarded for that. All right? That's exactly what you get with Everyday Elite Visa credit card from TrueMark Credit Union. Talking up to 4% cash back on eligible everyday purchases, including gas. You know what it's like at the pump these days. For a limited time, new cardholders also get 0% introductory APR on purchases for the first 12 months, and then just 17.99 APR after that. More cash back, less catch. Apply today, TrueMark.com, or you can stop by any of the TrueMark Credit Union's 24 branch locations. That's right, TrueMark Credit Union. Rates based on creditworthiness, 4% cash back, eligible purchases, bonus categories capped annually, restrictions apply. Visit TrueMark.com for details. Insured by the NCUA.
If you're a golfer in Philly and you're not part of the GAP yet, you're leaving a ton on the table. GAP, the Golf Association of Philadelphia, is your all-access pass to the best golf in the area. Their member play days get you on the top private clubs and premier golf courses you normally can't even touch, and it's all in a relaxed, fun format. No pressure, just great golf. And when you join, you get a GIN handicap, which changes everything. It levels the playing field, tracks your game over time, and makes every round actually mean something. Plus, for a low annual cost, you unlock access to events, championships, discounted tee times, and the entire Gap network. It's the hub for amateur golf in the greater Philadelphia area. Getting started is pretty easy. Just visit gapgolf.org and click join or get a handicap. You can sign up for the online USGA Gap Club for just $55 and get instant access to your membership and get a handicap, or you can host your own handicap through a local public or private golf course that offers Gap. Once you're in, you're in. Events, exclusive courses, all of it. Go to gapgolf.org and get started today.
All right. Late night tonight.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go to movies tonight.
You're going to go to movies?
Just
What are you going to see?
That Back Doors.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, back door. Here you go. All right.
Yeah.
I like it. Jules, what do you got cooking?
Stories, whatever.
Nothing? Jules, Rules got nothing?
No Quizzo?
No Quizzo on Monday.
Quizzo's on Thursday,
Yeah,
right?
Yep.
Yeah, you can find it on a Monday. New Wave's got it on Monday. There's a bunch of places.
I'm hobbling around still, though.
Yeah, she's on the DL.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's on the DL.
Pushed it too hard, so.
We got baseball tonight.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Game, practice?
Game.
Wow.
Another game. But this
Games
is
all weekend?
another team that we play for in the same organization that we play for. So I love. Listen, I get a nice night. It's gonna be beautiful
Yeah,
today.
it's gonna be nice.
So a nice little night at the yard.
Yeah.
For the kid. You gotta take
Close by?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, so it's not bad. So we'll go play some ball.
Yeah.
That's about it.
That's it.
It's a weird sports week.
We're on AJ alert.
Yeah.
4
And then the
o'clock,
World Cup,
3 o'clock.
you know, we're 2 weeks now from the World Cup. So we're looking forward to that. All right, that's going to do it for us, everybody. We love you guys. Ciao. Have a great day. We'll see you in the morning.
We all silly like the mayor.